Yo, they just need to add one boxing game. Right, bro. Just one boxing game. No cap. Let me see. SP. Uh, Game look code to they bring Fight Night back. It's the only game I want to play. I was gonna jump into to Madden. Let me see. Should I jump in, man? Nah. Let me actually play some GTA. I need to charge my phone. Oh, I'm about turning on the game to shit getting blown up. Like, what's going on?
Zoe. Said yo.
Yo, what's good,
Zoe.
Zoe?
Said I'm fine, well
You
good.
fine? Yo, what you mean, Zoe? No, I didn't ask you that yet, man. I didn't ask you that yet, man. I felt like that was a bit rude. Think you owe me an apology after that. How we go from 24 to 5? That's crazy. It's crazy work, gang. Let's hope GTA could bring it back. Let's hope GTA could do it. All I'm trying to do is just do a money heist. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Ready. Ready. Spaghetti. Ready. Spaghetti. what I'm talking about.
Before.
I got you.
But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits, like the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for a buck? Gotta be Wendy's.
Be waiting for this shit to load. You better get in the game. Let's put it in the game.
The Super Saiyan transformation was nothing but a myth, with most average Saiyans at one point dismissing it as mere fiction. However, with certain circumstances and conditions, a Saiyan may be able to break through and unlock the legendary status, whether it's sheer anger, frustration, genetics, or a tingly back sensation. With this form, a Saiyan undergoes a biological change, with their hair spiking up and changing in color. Their eyes also become greenish. Also, most Saiyans, especially pure-blooded, gain an increased muscle mass, highlighting the immense power-up. In this video, I'll reveal to you every Super Saiyan user and explain to you the different ways a Saiyan can accomplish this feat and when they unlock the first level of this transformation in the show. As you know, there are many Super Saiyan users in the series, therefore I'll mention to you each Super Saiyan user in chronological order, starting from the first character who achieved it on screen to the last one in the Dragon Ball timeline. So without further ado, let's get right to it.
According to legend, the last Super Saiyan could only maintain his status in the transformed state. His power was extraordinary. He had no equal in the universe, but he was too primitive to control it. His rage burned so intensely
Vegeta once believed that the ability to become a Super Saiyan was considered to be nothing but a legend, as it had not been achieved for over 1,000 years. Back in the Namek Saga, during episode 66, Goku displays immense power, far above the average Saiyan, with the elite Frieza forces unable to touch Goku. Even Jeice, one of the strongest members of the Ginyu Force, wasn't able to fathom that a Saiyan could have this much power, while Vegeta was the only one that sensed that something has changed in Goku, and wonders
Basic person
if he actually
superscript
became
2.
the legendary Super Saiyan.
Said
There
if you
we
know
have a
any
glimpse
Persian
of the
word I
original
donate
Super Saiyan,
$5M
where it was
dollar.
depicted that he was actually an Uzara who was overcome by rage and fury. Vegeta further comments that he had no equal in the universe in terms of power. However, due to his primitive nature, he was consumed by the overflow of power and was destroyed by his own strength. Some people believe that this was Yamoshi, which is a character that we only knew through interviews by Akira Toriyama. As he stated, a man named Yamoshi was indeed the first Super Saiyan, but he was righteous-hearted, so the description does not fit the Saiyan that Vegeta was thinking about. Additionally, even if one wants to shoehorn that it could actually be Yamoshi, with the Legend of Super Saiyan story being diluted as it passed from generation to another, it's worth noting that this flashback is a filler scene. However, it would still be interesting to one day fully visualize the stories of the original Super Saiyans. Among those are Yamoshi, who was also the first Super Saiyan god. Back in 1991, Dragon Ball Z's most iconic moment was given birth. The first ever Super Saiyan transformation sequence occurred on Namek. This single moment has forever changed the direction of Dragon Ball, as Goku unlocks the legendary status of Super Saiyan during the events of the Frieza Saga. Throughout this whole fight, we were anticipating when Goku was going to use Kaioken against Frieza, only for King Kai to reveal to us the gut-wrenching truth that Goku was already using a Kaioken times 10 this entire fight. One word: despair. Goku even utilizes his ultimate move and trump card, the Spirit Bomb. But unlike the previous times where he only drew power from one planet, this time he draws power from Namek and from the solar system, which included the planets nearby and the 3 stars. This attack was surely the end of Frieza. We even have a nice heartwarming scene of our characters celebrating their win. before realizing the nightmare doesn't end as Frieza comes back appearing to be angry as ever. He raises his arm, extends his finger, and fires a beam similar to the death beam. But Frieza's mad. He is not satisfied with a quick death. He makes sure Krillin suffers as he raises Krillin into the air and clenches his hand into a fist, detonating him in the air as he cries to Goku for help. This resulted into Goku.
Now, when you really think about it, though, Krillin got the worst death. When you really think about it, Krillin got the worst death. Like, bro got sent in the air. I'm thinking, yo, bro just got exploded, like he just blew up. But nah, bro got sent in the air. Bro got sent in the air and blown up, fam. It's like one thing to get blown up, you can get blown up on the ground, but bro went up in the air. Like you in the air. What is he gonna do with me? I'm in the air. Oh nah, he blows me up too. That's the worst. Probably the worst death in Dragon Ball. No cap. No cap.
Goku slipping into intense rage. Lightning starts to appear, rocks flying upwards. Gohan and Frieza are looking in surprise as Goku starts to undergo some sort of change. His hair going from pitch black to yellow. His iris is going completely blank, indicating that something is about to activate. And then it happens. Goku gives into his rage and fulfills a legendary power that hasn't been activated in 1,000 years. This power has brought something that we have never particularly saw from Goku, as Goku's normally far more composed in his previous fights. Even when he's staring at the face of defeat, he can find the joy in battle. This time it was different. We saw him beaten, mocked, and even violated, but enough was enough. Though, if I could pinpoint Goku's journey to becoming a Super Saiyan and the catalyst to how he transformed, I would need a whole video. But to surmise this form was achieved when Goku came into terms with who he was. Instead of denying his heritage, he embraced that he is the last of a legendary warrior race. He carried the blood and pride of his people. Him accepting that, coupled with his kind-hearted nature that he got from Earth, gave him the ability to...
Nah. Yo, you can't tell me, like, if they would have had Dragon Ball from the Sand Saga when Raditz touched down all the way to Frieza Saga, like, that'd be the best anime ever, bro. Nothing touching that, bro. Like, I don't even care. And then, even if you go to the Cell Saga, that would still be the best anime. Like, no cap. But, like, it don't even, like, that's like, yo, that's the best. That's the best. That's the best
Sweat
stretch.
shorts. Said name a car for a edit.
Ferrari.
to control this form
It's the
and not give
best.
into his rage. What people don't realize is that Goku could have easily been another Broly, a malicious killing machine after this. But due to him overcoming this rage, he could forgive someone like Frieza and even feel saddened that he had to end someone as talented as Frieza when he killed him on Namek, or seemingly defeated him. This fight had it all: high stakes, colossal.
He was, yo, I wonder what would have happened if he never killed Krillin. Bro would have just body Goku.
feats, amazing fighting choreography, and a satisfying conclusion. This fight
Imagine if Frieza did not, if he didn't do that, Goku be dead.
defined an entire culture.
That's man. I thought
Game
it
of
was
Thrones
stream-
King's Road
stream
is
live.
now available on both PC and mobile with Google Play Games.
Not just a generation.
I'm really
I
still
happen
waiting
to
for
know
this
that
though.
Goku isn't the only Super Saiyan. Matter of fact, you're looking at one.
I ain't gonna lie. Nah, that's how you do a character though. That's why Trunks was so cold. Cause only other nigga we seen go Super Saiyan was Goku at this point. So it's like, yo, who is this nigga? Like, this nigga is Goku. Like good guy, bad guy. Who is this guy? Like, he pulled up on perfect timing. Nah, that mean they violated Gohan and Vegeta though. Like, we should pull it up in base form. We should pull it up in base form, no cap.
The second ever Super Saiyan transformation sequence that we had ever saw in the show was the mysterious character wearing the Capsule Corp logo on his jacket, a young man who confronted Frieza on Earth. He reveals to Frieza that there is another Super Saiyan. Frieza laughs almost mockingly, but it was cut short after Trunks starts to power up, shaking the entire Earth beneath him as he morphs into a Super Saiyan. While this is indeed the first time we see Trunks going Super Saiyan in the series, it is not the very first time he transformed. That occurred in the Future Trunks special after he discovers the death of his master and own best friend Goku.
That timeline, fuck up. That timeline is.
This fit of rage and experience of loss triggered his Super Saiyan transformation. However, I must say this, when it comes to the manga, Akira Toriyama already had Future Trunks as Super Saiyan when he was fighting, so technically speaking, you could say he achieved it off-screen.
That's right, my friend. Let me ask you, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Not him, too.
Vegeta achieved the Super Saiyan transformation in the Android Saga. He was shown using it for the first time on screen after he saves Goku from the grips of death by Android 19. As after Goku achieved the Super Saiyan form for the first time, Vegeta, who was already incredibly arrogant and prideful, became obsessed with turning into a Super Saiyan himself. After all, he was the surviving Saiyan prince, whereas Goku or Kakarot was a low-class Saiyan who was supposedly destined for nothing special. This spurred Vegeta to take on the most intense 3-year training, where his body was pushed to the absolute limit. Even a basic training by Saiyan standards became a desperate struggle for survival. At 450 times normal gravity, Vegeta never stopped for one moment of rest. Even the simplest moves required every ounce of willpower he had. It seemed like the only thing holding his body together was his one desire to be better than Kakarot. Vegeta decides then to take his training into the solitude of space, where he would be unhindered by the distractions of the Earth. So, when a violent electrical storm erupted in the sky, he welcomed it. It seemed fitting, like it was an outward manifestation of the raging storm inside of him. That is when unexpectedly the meteors started falling down on him. Vegeta was determined to survive by protecting his ship from destruction. He thought he had everything under control, but that is when the biggest meteor appeared out of nowhere to seemingly claim his ship and his life. Vegeta explains that normally it would have been child's play to destroy that meteor, but after being physically fatigued from training under 450 times gravity, it took everything he had and more. He managed to keep his ship intact, but not before sustaining lots of damage. That's when something snapped inside of him. Vegeta didn't care anymore. He didn't care about being better than Kakarot. He didn't care about being a Super Saiyan. He didn't care if he lived. And a single moment where he just let go of everything, it happened. In pure rage, Vegeta achieves the status of Super Saiyan.
This may
Makes
be
sense
the
right
last
there.
ad you ever see.
Made
Because of the
perfect
free
sense.
ad block extension from Capital One.
Like, with Goku, that made sense too, because it's like, at that point, it's like, nah, bro. Nah, he could have smoked Gohan too, though, but he ain't smoked Gohan. He could have done Gohan the worst way. Or didn't even do it to Gohan. Could have done it to Gohan. Speak. Speak.
Now, I know that I blatantly ripped off the whole script of how Vegeta achieved Super Saiyan, but even I couldn't have said it better than Vegeta himself. This is my personal favorite Super Saiyan moment in the series. However, I do not want to spoil the party, but the flashback itself is filler and was never in the manga. However, it was a really great addition in the anime, and I personally consider it to be my own headcanon on how things played out. So while we can argue that the trigger wasn't that Vegeta stopped caring, or how Krillin thought that the trigger was to be pure-hearted and detached, Vegeta says otherwise, as his heart is pure.
Besides, my heart is pure. Pure, unadulterated, badass.
Did it. My son is a Super Saiyan.
While nothing compared to the trial and tribulation that Vegeta had to go through, Gohan's journey was defined by self-belief and taking accountability. He achieves the Super Saiyan form transformation for the first time in the Room of Spirit and Time, otherwise known as the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. He trains with Super Saiyan Goku in a room where one day on Earth equals a whole year inside. There he is pushed by his father to become a Super Saiyan. Gohan tells his father to stop being soft and come at him like he wants to kill him. Goku sees the resolve on Gohan's face and obliges by charging a Kamehameha while in Super Saiyan. This potential life-threatening moment, in addition to Gohan finding the
Said
courage
Ferrari
to
what?
fight not only for himself, but for his friends and family, he manages to place himself among legend and achieve the legendary status. So yes, while every Saiyan needs that anger to transform, the motivation behind that anger is different for each Saiyan. Again, I don't want to be that guy again, but since this video is supposed to tell you when every Saiyan unlocked it, it must be noted again that technically the first time we see Gohan go in Super Saiyan was briefly in manga chapter 382 when Goku was trying to get Gohan to find something to get angry about. He transformed into a Super Saiyan briefly before powering down. While every Saiyan needs that anger to transform, the motivation behind that anger is different for each Saiyan. Again, I don't want to be that guy again, but since this video is supposed to tell you when every Saiyan unlocked it, it must be noted again that technically the first time we see Gohan go in Super Saiyan was briefly in manga chapter 382 when Goku was trying to get Gohan to find something to get angry about. He transformed into a Super Saiyan briefly before powering down. This also happened in the anime, however, the next time we see Gohan in the manga, he was already transformed, meaning he achieved and mastered the form off screen. Again, I personally prefer the anime versions of each transformation, to be honest, because they added a little more depth than just characters on.
You gotta show how niggas become Super Saiyan. Like, you gotta show, like, they should have showed how Goten became Super Saiyan. Like, nah, they did, but it's like, nah, that's some shit that got caught on the screen. Like, each time a nigga done got the Super Saiyan, it's been downgraded each time, bro. Like, each time it's just been violated even worse than what it was before. It's like, it's despicable, bro. Despicable.
Unlocking it off screen. Speaking of which, Gohan's other counterpart, future Gohan, has also unlocked Super Saiyan, but we never actually saw how or when. But we can presume he managed to do it himself without anyone's help, though I doubt that he unlocked it as young as he was in the main timeline. Broly is the legendary Super Saiyan. His character debuted in 1993 in the 8th Dragon Ball Z movie installment. Broly is the Saiyan of legend that Vegeta used to hear about, a ruthless, cold-hearted fighting machine who encompasses the true brutal nature of the Saiyan race. A character who's overcome by his own power. Now I know what some will say, that the legendary Super Saiyan form is not really the regular Super Saiyan form. And you're absolutely right, Broly in fact unlocked the first level of Super Saiyan before his legendary form. In fact, he usually goes Super Saiyan first. This was first shown when he attacked Goku while he was asleep, though his hair appeared to have a purple-ish color and sometimes looking a bit blue. The reason behind that is that this is Broly's controlled Super Saiyan form, as his father had Broly under control with an advanced alien technology that sends signal to his mind in order to calm him down and prevent him from going berserk. This was initially used to prevent Broly from becoming the legendary Super Saiyan and destroy every galaxy out there. However, it was then destroyed when Broly completely loses it and transforms. In fact, due to this, when we see Broly in the next movie, his hair appears to be that of a normal Super Saiyan, which further proves that this legendary Super Saiyan form and his SSJ form are two different forms. In fact, one could argue that his legendary Super Saiyan form is a sub-form of SSJ2, or you could technically say that it's a Super Saiyan 2.5, though the form is entirely
Grade 2. He means grade 2, guys.
different in terms of its abilities anyways.
T-Mobile's Guide to Moving Day. Step 1, get T-Mobile 5G home internet with 2-day free shipping. Step 2, get online in 15 minutes. Step 3, call timeout indefinitely. Make your house a home on day 1. Get T-Mobile 5G home internet for just $50 a month.
If I was the youngest Super Saiyan ever, you might need more time. Ah! You're a Super Saiyan! Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable!
Goten is canonically the youngest Super Saiyan user. He unlocks the transformation at the age of 7 only. Right after Gohan brags to his brother that he still needs a little time before achieving what he did, Gohan is in utter shock at what he witnessed. Goten then reveals that his mother was training him off screen and pushed him into becoming a Super Saiyan after.
That nigga is like, how is that nigga 7 and he's already strong enough to where Goku fought Frieza? He probably bang out Frieza right there. Like he dead bang out Frieza.
Being mildly distressed. However, a popular acceptance.
He ain't get his neck snapped. He ain't had to go through shit to get that, bro. Like, I guess the tougher your life is, the harder you gotta work for something. The easier life is, you just get given shit. Like,
accepted fan theory used to be was that Goten and Kid Trunks inherited the Super Saiyan genes from their parents, as they were conceived at a point where both of their parents already achieved the form. However, years later, Akira Toriyama revealed to us that it is simply because of the large number of S cells that both Goten and Trunks had. As the more S cells a Saiyan has,
like,
the easier they can transform. Also, Saiyans who are more timid, especially hybrids, tend to have more S cells, and as a result have an easier time to transform. So, to an extent, the theory could still be correct in a way.
So, what are you going to do about it?
Guess I'll go super.
Kid Trunks is shown to transform on screen for the first time shortly after we see Goten go in Super Saiyan. Trunks looks to be struggling and moving under 150 times normal gravity. Vegeta, who's been training under more intense conditions, tells his son that he shouldn't feel too bad, since this type of gravity isn't a man's training level. Trunks seems to be undeterred with his conviction. He tells his father that Goten called him last night, and told him he will be entering the tournament, and now he's determined to fight as well. Vegeta smirks and asks what are you going to do about it. Trunks casually says, I guess I'll just go Super. Trunks transforms into a Super Saiyan for the first time on screen, and we see a hilarious reaction of Vegeta, who had to go through so much to just watch his offspring pulling it off like it's nothing. Of course, Trunks isn't nearly as strong as Vegeta here, since his base form is significantly weaker than Vegeta's, so as a result, his Super Saiyan form wouldn't be as strong. There is also the fact that Vegeta has mastered the Super Saiyan level and achieved a Super Saiyan Grade 4, which is a sub-level that most Super Saiyans can achieve after fully mastering the form.
Sweat shorts. Said like a name a type of a Ferrari.
Since I know some people will mention in the comments that I missed the fusion characters, I decided that I will include all the fusions that achieved the first level of Super Saiyan. Gotenks is the fusion between Goten and Trunks using the Mandarin dance, and it is the first successful fusion dance we have seen on screen. This was achieved during the Buu Saga, right after the release of Majin Buu and sacrifice of Vegeta. Goku, who was knocked out by Vegeta during their previous fight, realizes that both his son and rival are nowhere to be found. He makes the assumption that both must have perished. That's when he goes to the lookout and reveals that he had the plan to fuse with either one of those with a technique he learned in the other world called the fusion dance. Goku notes that the people who fuse must be similar in size and power. That's when Mr. Popo points out that Goten and Trunks fit the bill. Upon mastering the ability, they fuse for the first time. Goten and Trunks start in their Super Saiyan forms as they pose next to each other. They perform the dance correctly and give birth to Super Saiyan Gotenks. SJ Gotenks was so powerful that he could have possibly had the chance to defeating Fat Buu by himself. However, his ego was out of control, and as a result he flies away from the lookout. Piccolo starts flying after him in order to stop him. and Gotenks start leaping around the Earth 8 times in seconds.
Call me Super Vegito.
Vegito is the fusion of Goku and Vegeta using the Potara earrings. After Super Buu absorbs Gohan and all hope seems to be lost, Goku tracks Vegeta down and manages to convince him to fuse. This combination managed to summon the strongest warrior in the OG Dragon Ball Z canon show. Vegito, even in his base form, could overwhelm the additional strength of Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, and even Ultimate Gohan that Super Buu managed to absorb. While Buu thought he had a slight chance against Vegito in the beginning of the fight, he tells Vegito that he doesn't compare to his true strength. Vegito replies by powering up. His muscles quickly grew and he shifts to Super Saiyan. In the first level of Super Saiyan, Vegeta managed to easily outclass Gohan in all aspects.
Virko said, "Why yo scream like that?"
Vegeta, I am Gogeta. It's over, Janemba. I come for you.
During the 13th movie installment titled Fusion Reborn, we were introduced to a villain who was essentially the personification and embodiment of evil. He is the manifestation of eons of evil souls that broke free all at once. His existence alone managed to warp the fabric of reality of hell to his own will, being able to affect a realm that is transcendental in size, as every universe in the macrocosm is described to be infinite, and the other world is stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time in the super exciting guide, being a realm that is transcendental to the mortal universe. Even Goku, who was able to shake the entire afterlife after going Super Saiyan 3, wasn't able to fight against Super Janemba. This means Goku is yet again left with the only option to fuse with Vegeta, but with no earrings around, Goku teaches Vegeta to dance, and fuses with him. This gives birth to the angel born in hell, Gogeta. This was the first time we see Gogeta in Super Saiyan form. He was so overpowered, in fact, that a character that could reshape the afterlife was nothing compared to him. Gogeta in the first level of Super Saiyan managed to move in speeds that Janemba could not comprehend. He hits him so many times that his attacks seemed to have some sort of time lag. He basically hit him so fast that his body could not register any damage quickly enough. Gogeta wastes no time though, as he forms his iconic attack, the Stardust Breaker, or more accurately referred as Soul Punisher. He uses this attack to erase Janemba on the molecular level. Yes, Bardock, the father of Goku, has achieved the Super Saiyan transformation in a what-if OVA called Episode of Bardock.
Game of Thrones King's Road is now available on both PC and mobile with Google Play Games. Explore the Game of Thrones universe on a larger PC screen and earn Google Play points for every purchase you make on PC. Download Google Play Games today.
I'm kind of a deal hunter, so...
We used a Spectrum savings calculator today, and
I said, how is the savings so substantial?
Yeah, it's amazing that you could save that much.
Super Saiyan 2, a form that exceeds that of a regular Super Saiyan in every single aspect, a form that amplifies the user's speed, strength, and power greatly. This form is an iconic transformation due to its first debut on screen, as many fans would point to that moment as the pinnacle of the Dragon Ball show. Despite this form looking similar to its predecessor, Super Saiyan 1, it possesses some distinguishable characteristics. Because of the intense radiation output of the form, the aura pulses at a higher frequency than usual, causing blue electricity to emit around the user, hence why the hair spikes more so than usual, becoming long and rigid. This causes some Saiyans to exhibit a long prominent bang curving across their face. While in Goku's case, he possesses the same long bang in some scenes, but what is usually considered consistent is that he has 3 bangs compared to the 5 bangs he had previously. Vegeta's a bit tricky because aside from his attack, the Big Bang, his SSJ2 form doesn't possess any consistent notable features, making the blue electricity our best shot to determine if he was a Super Saiyan 2. So just like my previous video on how every Saiyan achieves the first level of Super Saiyan, I'll reveal to you the story on every Saiyan who achieved the second level of Super Saiyan, and when they first unlocked it. I'll reveal them in chronological order from the first one who achieved it on screen to the last one in the Dragon Ball main anime timeline. So without further ado, let's get right to it.
And I won't watch this anymore!
The strongest human Saiyan hybrid to ever exist, Son Gohan. He is the first character to be able to successfully break through the first level of Super Saiyan. While characters like Vegeta, Trunks, and even Goku found sub-levels of the first transformation, with Vegeta unlocking Super Saiyan Grade 2 against Semi-Perfect Cell, and Trunks pushing even further with Super Saiyan Grade 3 or Ultra Super Saiyan, with his strength and muscle size intensifying to impractical levels as he sacrifices speed for power. Goku is the first character to manage to address the weaknesses of Super Saiyan as he finds a way to master the first level without suffering the usual drawbacks of stamina strain. During the Cell arc, Gohan also managed to overcome the weaknesses of Super Saiyan and master the first level when he trained with his father in the Room of Spirit and Time. During this whole year, Gohan has shown frightening capacity to keep up with Super Saiyan Goku, gaining more and more strength day by day. Gohan even becomes unrecognizable to the other characters. As Goku and Gohan emerge from the time chamber, everyone else senses a huge power level approaching. They assume it's Goku's energy. Footsteps start to approach. The first one who comes out is Gohan, a subtle hint from the show to what was going to happen later on. Piccolo was the first one to react, astonished and expressing how he can't believe this is the same child he trained with all those years ago. Even Vegeta, who's prideful and dismissive, can sense something is different on how natural the Super Saiyan transformation looks. A second hint from the show was shortly after Goku and Gohan pay a visit to Korin. Goku asks Korin to gauge his power level and compare it to Cell. He then starts powering up, emitting intense aura and energy that everyone in the lookout can immediately feel the immense pressure that Goku is exuding, as if the entire earth is shaking beneath them. Korin pleads to Goku to stop as not to destroy the whole lookout. Korin gives his assessment and says Goku probably can't beat Cell. The significance of this scene wasn't Goku powering up, but Gohan, who throughout this whole sequence was calm and composed. He even doubts that Goku was using his full power and thinks to himself in the manga that Dad is clearly holding back. Because just like his future wife, coincidentally, they are both stronger than their parents. Also, as a side note, I find it amusing that Goku had to ask Korin for his opinion on whether he could beat Cell or not, as this implies that cats are apparently more accurate than Scouters. During the Cell games, a match to determine the fate of the universe, Goku fights against Cell in an epic battle. Gohan seems to be keeping up with every movement occurring, even believing at one point that his father must be holding back. That is when it's revealed to us that Goku already knew he wasn't able to beat Cell in a fight. He only intended to go first as to let Gohan analyze Cell's movement. Goku is even confident in his son's abilities that he controversially throws Cell a senzu bean. And I'm sorry guys, I know how people hate this scene so much, but call me crazy, I'm one of the few people who absolutely love this. Like, just imagine sending your own 9-year-old son to fight the self-proclaimed strongest in the universe, and then be like, here you go, you'll need this. This just shows Goku's ice-cold confidence. This is what an actual alpha mentality looks like, getting your child beat. No, I'm just kidding. But really, let's just think for a second. If Goku didn't give Cell the senzu bean, Cell would have likely killed Gohan because Cell was already fatigued from his previous fight, meaning he won't afford holding back against Gohan and might kill him.
When lawlessness tips the scales, justice comes in waves. The marshal stands alone. Outgunned, but not outmatched. Some legends travel light, but hit hard.
A great stirring is underway. War is inevitable. There are forces more powerful than the will of the gods, my son. Brace yourself, Perseus.
Look, Peter. We all know that last year you did something cool. But honestly, I don't even remember what it was.
We're headed into the sea of monsters. You sure you're okay to do this?
Let's go do the impossible.
What?
So this is your boyfriend, huh?
I never said boyfriend. I never said boyfriend.
I believe you.
Goku giving Cell a sense of being sent a clear message to Cell that he would lose, meaning Cell was provoked by Goku and Cell would have had so much pride to not let Gohan reveal his true power. I mean, that's at least how I always viewed it. Goku, truly aware of Cell's potential, tells him that he believes Gohan can defeat Cell. Gohan lands to the battlefield in his badass Piccolo clothes. He throws his cape and powers up against Cell in Super Saiyan, and everyone is in utter shock on how incredibly strong he is. In the first level of Super Saiyan alone, Gohan shows to have more raw power than his own father. However, due to his reluctance to fight and his emotional nature, held him back from outperforming Goku. Gohan is a pacifist, a peaceful-minded individual. He doesn't like hurting others. Gohan explains this carefully when he tells Cell exactly what's going to happen. He tells Cell about the many times we saw Gohan getting a rage boost and how much stronger he got as a result. So, after training the hyperbolic time chamber and unlocking Super Saiyan, you can imagine that the results of getting a rage boost will be exponential. However, what Gohan doesn't realize at this point is that Cell having the DNA of the Saiyans makes him more intrigued than ever as his pride gets the best of him, as he cannot allow a mere child to speak about having a power greater than his. I mean, it is his tournament. He attacks Gohan relentlessly, inflicting great pain and damage to the young warrior. This is when Goku realized his biggest mistake. While Gohan may be stronger than him and possibly the strongest character in the universe at that point of the show, but he isn't a fighter like Goku. He doesn't get excited for fighting or test the fruits of his training by competing against a tough opponent. This was beautifully said by Piccolo, who tells this to Goku.
Power, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't thirst for battle and mayhem. He's not a fighter like you.
Huh?
And so your son may be the most powerful person in the world, but he's also a scared 11-year-old boy.
Goku realizes his big mistake and now intends to correct it, but that is when Cell brings out the Cell Juniors that terrorizes everyone. They run rampant on everyone and demolishing the human characters and inflict lots of pain on the fatigued Goku. Even Trunks and Vegeta struggle to fend them off. Gohan is in emotional distress and turmoil as he's only a child trying to process the duality between the absence of violence and the absence of conflict, as his reluctance to fight is not born out of weakness, but rather from a deep sense of empathy and a desire to avoid unnecessary harm. He doesn't like the idea of using his own strength to destroy or hurt others, which is in stark contrast to the Saiyan warrior culture that values strength and power. Gohan isn't afraid of fighting Cell, he is afraid of his own strength. He is afraid of losing that part of him that makes him be in touch with his human nature. However, the breaking point comes when Cell kills Android 16, and android who had shown kindness and compassion towards Gohan, offering him a sense of security and guidance. He tells Gohan to let it go. It is not a sin to fight for the right cause. Cell then comes and brutally steps on Android 16 and murders him. This moment shatters Gohan emotionally. A red line snaps in the background as Gohan slips into intense rage.
I won't watch this anymore!
Looking like study time.
Trying to.
Oh, your Lenovo Aura Edition can block all my distractions. Sorry, is that distracting?
Just our roomie routine.
Find your focus on a Lenovo laptop with the power of Intel inside at Best Buy.
The 2026 CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid. Introducing the latest addition to the Honda Trail Sport lineup. Our most capable CR-V yet. Explore the CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid at your local Honda dealer.
It is a secret we have known before Gohan could even form words in his mouth. Through fights with Raditz, the Ginyu Force, Garlic Jr., and even Frieza, we have caught glimpses of the child's explosive power. But like an explosive, it always vanished with the moment. It couldn't be controlled. Until now. At last, the beastly power has been harnessed. Gohan has awoken. He has become a Super Saiyan 2. Now, I just want to quickly address one thing before we move on. I know that many of you believe this is not the first time Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 in the show, as many people would point out that Gohan first showed glimpses of this form in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, where Goku witnesses Gohan entering Super Saiyan 2 briefly. This was an anime flashback scene only, and while I can accept this scene as canon, since Goku would have to have known about Gohan's potential, however, this scene is still a filler scene that never occurred in the manga. So if you want to be technical, Gohan first showed Super Saiyan 2 in the manga when he fought against Cell. Goku is the second Super Saiyan 2 user to achieve this transformation. In fact, out of all the Super Saiyan transformations that were introduced in the series, the second level is the only form that wasn't first unlocked on screen by Goku. While yes, we have seen flashbacks about the Super Saiyan transformation, and we were told that Yamoshi was the first Super Saiyan, Goku was still the first to unlock every level of transformation on screen. Goku's Super Saiyan 2 form has debuted during the Buu arc 7 years after the events of the Cell games. During this time, Goku was training non-stop in the heavens, fighting against opponents who could push him even harder than Cell could, even earning the privilege to train under the Grand Kai himself. So once Goku was granted a special perk that allows him to come back to Earth for one day, there he meets the highest ranking god in the universe at that time, the Supreme Kai. He expresses honor to Goku, telling him that he has heard about his reputation of being one of the greatest fighters in existence, and he hopes he could test Goku's fighting prowess. It was later revealed that the Supreme Kai needed help to locate Babidi and stop the universal threat Majin Buu to be brought back from his long slumber. They seek out Babidi in his spaceship. There, Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta show their absolute dominance over the supposed strongest fighters in the universe. Under the watchful eyes of the Supreme God, the Saiyans showed the leaps and bounds of their power, being able to toy and dismantle any threat coming at them. Even the king of the demon realm, Dabura, an entity stronger than the gods, couldn't handle their obscene strength. That is when Babidi realizes the only way to defeat the Saiyans is to make them fight against each other. Babidi taps into Vegeta's evil nature and tries to control the Saiyan Prince. Aware of the Majin possession boost that it grants, Vegeta allows himself to be controlled. There, he forces Goku to battle. Realizing that every single damage Vegeta inflicts on him is energy for Majin Buu, Goku takes this fight seriously. He demonstrates a contrast demeanor to the one he did earlier. As Goku realizes this fight won't be easy, Goku decides he won't hold back and powers up. Electricity starts surging around him as he ascends, and we see Goku transform into Super Saiyan 2 for the first time on screen. Now, it is clearly evident that this is not the first time Goku went Super Saiyan 2, as it's obvious that he unlocked the form off screen when he was training in the other world. You could also argue that Goku entered Super Saiyan 2 very briefly during his fight with Babidi's monster Yakan, a powerful creature who can eat light. He devours Goku's first level of Super Saiyan before Goku challenging him once again, but this time he clearly seems to power up even more. Even though we don't see the lightning, Yakan's body explodes as he cannot handle all that energy. Even Vegeta sensed Goku's true power at that moment, so you can really argue that he went SSJ2 for a split second. However, he undergoes through the whole transformation against Majin Vegeta, who says this in response.
Sun was against Cell.
Yes, Vegeta transforms into a Super Saiyan 2 right after Goku reveals his SSJ2 form. Vegeta even comments how Goku surpasses Gohan when he fought Cell. With Vegeta ascending as well, Goku realizes that Vegeta's on par with him in strength. But the question on everyone's mind right now isn't whether Vegeta has Super Saiyan 2 or not. It's whether this was the first time he unlocked it. And it can be a bit tricky for some fans, as a lot of people for some weird reason refuse to accept that Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 2 prior to this scene. I have already dispelled and debunked this myth many years ago, and I'm happy to do it once again, as I cannot wait to disappoint all three people who weirdly believe this myth. First of all, when the tournament began, Vegeta was already confident he would win, despite him knowing Gohan has Super Saiyan 2. But even if you want to argue that Vegeta was just being, well, Vegeta, Daizenshuu 7 closes any door for arguments, as it describes that Super Saiyan 2 is a form that Goku and Vegeta unlocked through harsh training. Additionally, I find it very hard to believe on the argument that Vegeta unlocked a mastered Super Saiyan 2 level from the first time. If this was really his first time, he wouldn't be able to keep up against a mastered Super Saiyan 2 Goku even with the Majin boost. But let me know what you guys think. Do you still stubbornly think that it was impossible for Vegeta to go Super Saiyan 2 by himself?
Dunkin' Refreshers. Available in all new Blueberry Breeze, Mango Pineapple, and Strawberry Dragon Fruit. $3 median for Dunkin' Rewards members.
Gotenks, what's happening to you?
Gotenks is the fusion between Goten and Trunks using the Metamaran dance, and it is the first successful fusion dance we have seen on screen. This was first achieved during the Buu Saga, right after the release of Majin Buu and sacrifice of Vegeta. Goku, who was knocked out by Vegeta during their fight, realized that both his son and rival are nowhere to be found. He makes the assumption that both must have perished. That is when he goes to the lookout and revealed that he planned to fuse with either one of them with a technique he learned in the other world called the fusion dance. Goku notes that people who fuse must be similar in size and power. That is when Mr. Popo points out that Goten and Trunks fit the bill. Upon mastering the ability to fuse for the first time, Goten and Trunks start in their Super Saiyan forms as they pose next to each other. They perform the dance correctly and give birth to Super Saiyan Gotenks. However, due to Gotenks being too cocky and belligerent, he wastes a lot of time and defuses before being able to confront Fat Buu. After Majin Buu expels his evil half and loses the battle to him, he becomes Super Buu. That is when he finds the Temple of Kami due to him unlocking the ability to sense power levels. He tells Piccolo to produce the fighter that Goku promised he would fight against. Piccolo panics and realizes Gotenks cannot compete with this level of threat yet. He carefully buys time from Super Buu in order for Goten and Trunks to train for 1 hour inside the hyperbolic time chamber. These few days that Gotenks trained inside managed to give him the ability to transcend the first level of Super Saiyan and go Super Saiyan 3. During this transformation sequence, Gotenks becomes a Super Saiyan 2 right before SSJ 3, as Goku himself tells us that you cannot achieve Super Saiyan 3 without unlocking the previous level. So while we never actually saw Gotenks fighting in Super Saiyan 2, he indeed does possess the form. Now before we go further, there are two characters I'd like to mention who never went Super Saiyan 2 but theoretically do possess the form without a shadow of a doubt. That being the two fusions of Vegito and Gogeta. Vegito himself never went Super Saiyan 2 despite what some fans think. Despite the blue electricity that Vegito emitted, the form is classified in every single media as regular Super Saiyan. Just like Vegito, Gogeta was also so strong that he didn't need to go Super Saiyan 2. In fact, just transforming to the first level was an overkill. In episode 48 of Dragon Ball Super, Future Trunks comes back to the present as he was overwhelmed by an enemy who's more powerful than Super Perfect Cell. Goku Black was a villain so strong that he could pick apart a Future Trunks in his base form, the same Trunks who was able to defeat Dabura. Trunks couldn't handle this level of threat and decides to use the time machine once again. There he is reunited with his father and Goku. Seeking for help, Trunks does a similar thing to his first encounter with Goku, as he challenges him into a fight in order to test Goku's strength. They ascend to the sky and Trunks starts powering up. There he shows Goku that he managed to transcend the first level and become a Super Saiyan 2. Now here's the thing, while this is the first time we clearly see Trunks going SSJ2, he didn't unlock it for the first time during this fight, meaning Trunks managed to go Super Saiyan 2 off screen. And since he managed to defeat Dabura, this likely means he either transformed during his fight with Dabura when he beat him, or before when he trained with the Supreme Kai. While the flashback doesn't tell much besides a brief encounter between Trunks and Dabura, the manga shows us these events in more detail, where we see an awesome depiction by the author of the manga, Toyotaro, who shows us Trunks in the same clothes that Gohan was in when he trained with the Z-Sword. In this version of the Buu events, Trunks has also managed to pull the Z-Sword and train under the gods in the Kaioshin realm in order to prepare for the Babidi invasion. Toyotaro also teases the viewer on what's going to happen next when the Supreme Kai raises his hand and materializes what we know as the hardest material in the universe, known as Kachin. As anyone who saw Dragon Ball Z will know how hard this metal is, as in the present timeline, this metal has successfully snapped the Z-Sword in half, releasing the Elder Kai from imprisonment. However, right before the Supreme Kai launches the hardest metal in the universe, Kabiru Kai senses that Babidi is making his move, which interrupts the Supreme Kai from evidently breaking the Z-Sword. There they arrive at Earth. It is already implied that Trunks took care of Pui and Yakan in the background, and starts his fight with Dabura. There, Trunks is seriously having lots of trouble competing with Dabura, who's comparable to Perfect Cell, as you know, as at one point Dabura spits on the Z-Sword and burns it. There, the gods are in disbelief. The Supreme Kai expresses regret that he has miscalculated on how dire the situation is. So, in a desperate attempt to stop Babidi, the Supreme Kai rushes to attack the wizard, but then is halted by Dabura, who attacks him and severely damages the god. Kabiro, being the loyal servant, rushes to help the Kaioshin, but then is met with the exact fate and death he endures in the present timeline, as Dabura blasts him in the exact same way he did in the present. Like, I know some people dislike how Toyotaro is copying certain scenes of the original series, but I personally think these nods only serve as a really great homage to the series, as I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's not like it's devaluing certain elements or tropes, but rather serving as some sort of Easter egg and love letter to the original. But I digress. The situation seems to be getting worse, with the Supreme Kai getting tortured by Babidi. As the wizard snuffs his last breath, this causes Trunks into getting very angry, and turns into a Super Saiyan 2. With this new power-up, he immediately overwhelms Dabura, as Future Trunks is on a whole new level. Dabura spawns a spear in his hands, ready to throw it, but the Kaioshin interjects, and with his last remaining energy he has left, manages to use his psychic ability to constrain and subdue Dabura momentarily before we see Trunks doing the burning attack. The same move Trunks did against his fight with Mecha Frieza. Again, a nice touch and homage to the original series. With this attack, Trunks saves the future once again and stops the revival of Majin Buu. I personally love the Babidi saga so much in the manga, as it feels like an actual what-if scenario done correctly. Unlike something like Super Dragon Ball Heroes, which is frankly nonsensical, I appreciate the fascinating exploration of alternate realities, allowing both writer and viewer to reimagine pivotal moments and character choices that do not break the show's own logic. When done correctly, these alternate timelines are not mere fanservice, but thoughtful, well-crafted stories that fit in with audience expectations. For example, if you're someone who knows anything about the power system in Dragon Ball, then you know that an SSJ2 Trunks will not be able to defeat the weakest version of Buu, since Buu was a creature who managed to overwhelm a mastered Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta, who was more powerful than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in the Cell Saga, and was able to box against a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Additionally, we also know that Trunks is not the kind of fighter to treat a battle like a competition to prove his own strength. He will do everything it takes to finish off a fight. Meaning, in this instance, Majin Buu not being revived in Trunks' timeline actually makes sense within Trunks' own personality and demeanor in treating situations. Just like he defeated Cell in the future in his first form so easily, this makes for a satisfying ending for us, the viewer. On the other hand, dropping the ball with this scene would be something like Buu being revived and somehow absorbing Dabura and then fights Trunks, who somehow defeats him for no reason. I know I went on a tangent here, but I honestly think this flashback deserves more credit and recognition. This is more of a debatable question. Did Goku Black really go Super Saiyan 2, or was it only Super Saiyan in the manga? Now, I have to address this in this video because a lot of people are under the impression that Goku Black did go Super Saiyan 2. This stems from the fact that when Goku Black first goes Super Saiyan, he emits electricity, one of the prominent traits of Super Saiyan 2. However, during the next scenes, his hair is drawn exactly how the regular Super Saiyan of Goku is drawn. There is also no mention of him being a Super Saiyan 2. The other characters simply mention it's Super Saiyan. However, it is interesting that in this form, his transformation is so strong that it could compete with an SSJ2 Vegeta. This is not unheard of course. If you think about it, this is similar to Vegito. Albeit a fusion, yes, but his Super Saiyan transformation was so strong that it could emit lightning and looks like a Super Saiyan 2. And even in base form, Vegito is stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So it could make sense for Goku Black to be this powerful in Super Saiyan. However, I will agree that there is no reason why Goku Black cannot turn into a Super Saiyan 2, especially when we see weaker characters than him accomplishing it. Perhaps a headcanon would be that Goku Black didn't undergo enough emotional turmoil to grant him that form. But whether it's the former or the latter, I think Goku Black in Super Saiyan looks so amazing in the manga, and I feel like we were robbed from that experience in the anime. Now, before we move on to the other characters who went Super Saiyan 2, there are two other characters who are debated to be Super Saiyan 2, one of them having a better case than the other, and that is Trunks from Dragon Ball GT, who after being possessed by a baby in the first time, powers up and emits lots of electricity in order to draw out baby from his body. I'll confess that I used to believe that this was Super Saiyan 2. However, after further investigation, I found no actual evidence or material that labeled Trunks as a Super Saiyan 2 besides the visual effects of his transformation in this scene. So I cannot really confirm this as a real transformation, as this could be a similar case to Vegito and Goku Black from the manga. The other character I was going to mention in this instance is Goten. While he never shown us the electricity, Goten is very strong in Dragon Ball GT and was able to fight against Baby in his base form and perform very well, despite Goten himself commenting on Baby having enormous ki. So I feel like it can be debated that he could go Super Saiyan 2 even though we never saw it. But let me know what you guys think on these three characters. Of course, Goten has the weakest case out of all the three, but I'd like to be interested in knowing your own thoughts. And honestly, I feel like it's kinda great that Super Saiyan 2 is gate-kept and isn't easily accessible to anyone like the first level. However, me saying that will age very poorly after we go further in this video. Caulifla is a female Saiyan warrior from Universe 6. She achieves the Super Saiyan 2 transformation shortly after acquiring the first level, which honestly doesn't make sense, since you need to master the first level of Super Saiyan first. But whatever. She showcases the form briefly after Kale achieves the Berserker form and threatens Cabba's life, as Kale loses control and attempts to kill Cabba. Caulifla powers up to Super Saiyan 2 for a moment and knocks the blast that Kale just shot. Although this was the first time we see her transform, she later admits that she cannot easily access the form, and instead transforms to a Super Saiyan Grade 3. However, Goku tells her about the drawbacks and tells her that she should work on becoming a Super Saiyan 2 instead. Which, by the way, I'm not trying to hate on Caulifla here or anything, but I find it very hard to accept that she is a genius in battle and still made the same mistake that Trunks did against Cell. While Goku, who's arguably infinitely weaker than her in the Cell games, could manage to understand the form's drawbacks as soon as he transformed. But I guess this is the result of Caulifla lacking the same battle experience as Goku. But I digress. Through the help of Goku who shows Super Saiyan 2 to Caulifla, she manages to emulate Goku and attain the form after witnessing it. I honestly feel like this should have been her first time transforming as opposed to how she got it instantly after going SSJ1. However, in the manga, interestingly enough, Caulifla does not go Super Saiyan 2. Cabba's the first Universe 6 Saiyan that we saw in Dragon Ball Super. He unlocks the first level of Super Saiyan during the Tournament of Destroyer arc against Vegeta, and later on achieved Super Saiyan 2 in the Tournament of Power. But unlike Caulifla, who transformed by watching Goku doing it, Cabba achieves it through intense emotional turmoil, after battling against a warrior from Universe 4 who overwhelmed Cabba during the battle, and almost managed to defeat him. However, with Cabba hearing how his opponent Mona is insulting the Saiyans, calling them frauds and weaklings while also threatening that she would beat them, that hurt Cabba's pride. He loses it as soon as his opponent insults Vegeta, who showed Cabba kindness and guidance, while also saving him at one point. I'll be honest with you again, despite me not being the biggest fan of the Universe 6 Saiyans, I really do like Cabba's motivation to transform, as once his opponent calls the Saiyans as unworthy, he says this:
"Worthy foes!
Don't you dare call us unworthy!"
Cabba then manages to tap into the pride of the Saiyan race and transform into a Super Saiyan 2. There he defeats Mona easily, and just like Caulifla on this list, Super Saiyan 2 was only accessed in the anime and was never seen in the manga. Toitara seems to gatekeep the transformation from being unlocked so easily. However, despite Cabba unlocking SSJ2, he is defeated easily by Final Form Frieza later on, and he also gets defeated later on by Gogeta Super Saiyan 4.
Looking like study time.
Yeah, except I can't find the right lecture notes.
Oh, your laptop can find it. Power of Intel inside.
Cool. I wonder if I can find my roommate. Here.
Find it faster with the new Copilot Plus PC powered by Intel at Best Buy.
The 2026 CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid. To find your way, sometimes you have to pave it yourself. That's why the CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid has features like all-terrain tires and available enhanced traction control. Introducing the 2026 CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid, our most capable CR-V yet. Explore the CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid at your local Honda dealer or shop online today.
Oh wait, that's another video. Sorry. Kefla is the strongest warrior of Universe 6. She is the Potara fusion of Kale and Caulifla. During the events of the Tournament of Power, Goku overwhelms both Kale and Caulifla in a 1v2 battle. He transforms into Super Saiyan God and picks them apart. Goku completely outclasses both the Saiyan warriors and was going to defeat them with a Kamehameha. Though, that is when they use the earrings and then become Kefla. In this form, the Potara fusion multiplies and pushes their power to a level where they can overcome Super Saiyan God Goku in their base form. Goku in God mode is no match for Kefla. Goku even comments that he could not sense the depths and limits of her power. She was even so fast for a God Goku to keep up or react. Goku gets overwhelmed and is forced to use Super Saiyan Blue. In response, Kefla becomes a Super Saiyan and tips the scale of battle back to her favor. This evidently makes a fatigued Super Saiyan Blue Goku loses to Kefla. He then reverts back to base form and seems to be completely gassed out. Kefla then charges her attack to try to finish off Goku, but that is when Goku reignites his Ultra Instinct sign and is able to dodge every attack Kefla throws at him. Goku then ascends on a pillar and starts powering up at Ultra Instinct, and he says this. Kale, seeing the difference in power, goes Super Saiyan 2. Now, I know some people might interpret this form as a legendary Super Saiyan 2 of some sort. Since the hair is greenish just like Broly and Kale's Berserker form, Kappa tells us it's Super Saiyan 2, and the form is classified in video games and magazines as SSJ2. So whether we like to theorize it's some sort of an improved Berserker-esque form, that is up to interpretation. And of course, as you all know, Kefla eventually gets defeated by Ultra Instinct Goku. While in the manga, she doesn't even fight Goku, but Gohan instead, as Kefla is portrayed to be significantly weaker in the manga. Unlike the anime, she doesn't clearly show to possess Super Saiyan 2 and eventually loses to Ultimate Gohan instead of fighting with Ultra Instinct Goku. The Super Saiyan 2 transformation wasn't just a plain old power boost, it was a shift in storytelling, character development, and world building within the Dragon Ball universe. It was the first official stepping stone after the Super Saiyan transformation. It wasn't trying to be fancy or flamboyant, nor introducing new hair colors because the show thinks the audience is too brain dead to realize the difference. I respect and love the form for how subtle it is, while also not taking away anything from the first level, with Gohan experiencing immense turmoil and inner willpower struggle to manifest this form, while Vegeta's symbolizes his everlasting desire to surpass Goku. For this, I will always remember Super Saiyan 2 as the perfect transformation. In fact, one of my favorite transformation sequences in the OG Dragon Ball show was when Gohan transformed into SSJ2 at the World Martial Arts Tournament. There was so much gravitas behind that transformation, as Kabuto Kai, one of the higher gods who traveled from the sacred world of the Kais to encounter the Super Saiyan power that supposedly defeated Frieza. Gohan's response to Kabuto Kai was what made this scene for me right here.
Last chance for requests. Do you just want to see a Super Saiyan, or should I take it up to the next level?
What's that? There's a level beyond a Super Saiyan?
I really like how shocked Kabuto Kai was, because it makes perfect sense that lore-wise, no one ever knew this was possible. This scene is etched in my mind as my favorite Super Saiyan 2 transformation as a kid. But on that note, you can tell me what your favorite transformation sequence was, and if you want to see a video of me talking about how every Saiyan achieved the first level, then please click on the screen. And tell me if you want to see a video on how every character went Super Saiyan 3, because after the latest episode of Dragon Ball Daima, I am more excited than ever to make that video. But other than that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
Medium iced coffee and 2 hash brown wake-up wraps.
That's mine.
Delicious iced coffee for Davy Dunks.
That's mine. Mine.
Ah, here's mine. Now I need some breakfast. Go get the Dunkin' $5 meal deal.
Getting an instant offer on CarMax.com takes 2 minutes or less. We got our online offer. Let's head to CarMax. Online offers are just as real as the ones that you get in person, and with CarMax's express drop-off, you can verify your offer and leave with payment in just under 30 minutes. That's why I love CarMax.
Super Saiyan 3, the form which transcends the form that already surpasses the legendary status of Super Saiyan, a form so incomprehensible and powered that no one could imagine that it was possible.
Has he really found a way to surpass an Ascended Saiyan? Is that possible?
He must be bluffing. I mean, what would that make him? Double Ascended?
This form could only be accessed by other fusions or Saiyans with an incredibly strong trained body that could withstand the imposed strain on the user. This transformation pushes the user far past their usual limits, While the second level was stated to be twice as strong the first level, the third level is 4 times greater than its predecessor, giving the user a 400 times boost in power. Due to the abnormal circumstances a Saiyan must undergo, the form is far more difficult to attain. As a result, very few characters have achieved the third level of Super Saiyan, let alone master it. So just like my previous video on how every Saiyan unlocked Super Saiyan 2, I will reveal every Super Saiyan 3 user who unlocked the form in chronological order. However, I will do something that I don't usually do and mention characters who achieved Super Saiyan 3 in other medias, such as video games and Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So if you like this video and want to see Super Saiyan 4 next, then please help me and give this video a like. But without further ado, let's go even further beyond.
To go even further beyond.
Fight me if you're ready to die. Majin Buu has pushed me this far in battle before.
Goku's the first character who manages to break through the second level. He displays the legendary form during the Buu Saga after training for 7 years in the afterlife. This happens after Majin Buu and Babidi's rampage on Earth. Buu terrorizes the planet, destroying city after city as Babidi looks for Trunks, Goten, and Piccolo for revenge. He manages to leverage this chaos to extract the information on where Trunks lives. Realizing that Majin Buu and Babidi are on their way to West City, Goku decides to take action. Goku opts to buy time for Trunks to grab the Dragon Right Arm from West City before it gets destroyed. He uses instant transmission and teleports right in front of Babidi and Majin Buu. Believing he's not a threat, Babidi mocks Goku and thanks him for being responsible for helping Buu getting revived. Goku then warns Buu that in 2 days he will face off against a strong opponent that can give him a good fight. Babidi tells Goku he isn't interested and they will go straight to a city. Goku denies and says if he wants to reach Capsule Corp, then he has to go straight through him. Goku then powers up, electricity starts surging as Goku morphs into Super Saiyan 2. Everyone else can sense Goku's huge power level, including Trunks, who stops midair as he's in disbelief by how enormous Goku's level of power is. He further comments that Goku must be as strong as his own father. However, Babidi isn't impressed as he comments how Vegeta already used this transformation and failed. Goku replies that the second level isn't enough of a challenge for Buu, and says, how about I take it to the next level? Goku smirks, displaying a stoic expression, relishing the fact that he's up against an opponent who can push him this far. Though, Goku doesn't forget about the mission. He tells Trunks to get moving and not waste time. Meanwhile, Goku monologues to himself that he will need to stall Buu for a bit longer. He goes back to base form. Prompting Majin Buu to ask whether or not they're still going to play, Goku reassures him that they will get to it once he has taught him a thing or two about Super Saiyans. Goku powers up almost nonchalantly and shifts to the legendary Super Saiyan transformation, the same form that the Saiyans used to believe was nothing but a myth. He then pushes far above that and achieves a level that far exceeds the previous form in strength and speed. Goku, for the first time in the show, labels this transformation as Super Saiyan 2. Babidi brushes it off, claiming that Goku just changed his hair, and he calls it a useless transformation. Back at the lookout, Piccolo wonders if Goku has really found a way to surpass Super Saiyan 2. Krillin doubts it and says that might be impossible and that Goku must be bluffing. Then Goku starts screaming as he raises his power level, explaining that this is to go even further beyond. Goku starts screaming as electricity starts pulsing even faster around him. Everyone in the lookout can sense a dramatic change about to transpire. At the Grand Kai's planet, a place that transcends the mortal realm, King Kai is seen watching everything on Earth. He tells Goku to stop, protesting that if Goku does this now, he will drain away his time he has on Earth. However, Goku continues to transform as the entire planet quite literally shakes. Clouds start being pulled, buildings around the world starts to collapse. Even Tien, who's on the other side of the world, thinks if Goku keeps powering up, the whole planet will get destroyed. We then look at Goku's eyes as we see a visual of Goku's inner Great Ape being harnessed, almost as if it's showing that Goku's somehow tapping into the primal power of his Saiyan powers, being able to control and utilize some of the powers of the Great Ape without changing shape. With one mighty scream, Goku lets his power explode as he pushes beyond his limits. Goku's now emitting a brilliant flash of light. Babidi has to shield his eyes to prevent himself from being blinded by the immense flare. But once he recovers his vision, he gasps as he witnesses Goku's no longer the man he was. His orange gi shimmers with a tremendous aura of power,
6 ejects. Get free access now.
Swiffer Power Mop has hundreds of strips, scrub away sticky messes, even from grout lines.
His hair has grown all the way down to his waist, and his eyebrows are gone. Goku looks intimidating as ever, even more so than his fight against Frieza on Namek. In fact, Goku's Super Saiyan 3 design in itself is supposed to look raw and primal. Akira Toriyama commented that his decision of removing Goku's eyebrows was to make him look more intimidating. Also, in addition to the increased muscle mass, Goku has a deeper, rough voice compared to his usual friendly, innocent tone. This is of course most notable in the English dub, as the voice actor Sean Schemmel said he intentionally makes Goku sound deeper with each Super Saiyan transformation. However, without counting Super Saiyan 4, Goku's Super Saiyan 3 possesses a trait that many fans overlooked, as Goku's eyes have pupils in them as opposed to his previous Super Saiyan transformation, and that could be a design choice that has to do something with Goku tapping into the primal power of the Great Ape. In fact, tapping into the powers of the Great Ape isn't just some sort of headcanon or reach. Super Saiyan 3's initial design by Akira Toriyama was going to have a tail, which further adds that this form is like a pseudo or incomplete Super Saiyan 4 transformation from the perspective of Dragon Ball GT. With this power, Goku becomes the strongest mortal in the universe. His power was so great that it could be sensed all the way in the Supreme Kai world, a place where it would normally be impossible to sense anything, given the fact that the Kaioshin realm is a place that transcends the mortal universe, being beyond the concepts of space and time. Even Kabuto Kai protests that it shouldn't be possible. This is of course not even counting what Goku did in the movie Fusion Reborn, where he outright shakes the entire afterlife with his sheer aura when he transformed into a Super Saiyan 3. Honestly, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation is sometimes disregarded by some fans for the fact that it wasn't accomplished by emotional build-up, nor was it associated with an important win. Also, the Goku literally pulled this form out of his ass just to waste time. But truth be told, this doesn't do justice to the transformation, as the Super Saiyan 3 transformation used to be the true ultimate Super Saiyan transformation in Dragon Ball Z. It also had some wins in the movies as well, with Goku defeating Fat Janinpa, and in the movie Wrath of the Dragon, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks defeats the first form of Hirudegarn, and Goku defeats the final form with arguably his best attack ever, the Super Dragon Fist. Lastly, as you can see in this video, Super Saiyan 3 is a form that is not easy to accomplish, as Goku for 30 years used to be the only non-fused character to accomplish this form. Even the Universe 6 Saiyans who can cakewalk Super Saiyan 1 and 2 would dream about unlocking the Super Saiyan 3 transformation.
It's too bad. I wish there was a crowd around to see me do this. You like the new look? Man, I'm proud.
Gotenks is the fusion of Trunks and Goten via the Metamurin dance. They fused together for the first time during the Buu Saga, and is the second and final user of Super Saiyan 3 in the Dragon Ball Z anime. When Gotenks first appeared, he was only in his base form, and still didn't go Super Saiyan until his second successful fusion, where both Trunks and Goten started as Super Saiyans. Upon performing the dance successfully, they become a Super Saiyan Gotenks. However, due to Gotenks' personality being affected by the Super Saiyan transformation, his already cocky and belligerent personality only magnified to an even further degree. This rash and arrogant demeanor caused Super Saiyan Gotenks to fly off the lookout, and instead of fighting against Majin Buu, he starts leaping around the world 9 times in seconds. Due to Super Saiyan Gotenks wasting time, he defuses before getting the chance to fighting Buu. Consequently, Majin Buu goes through changes, as upon seeing both Mr. Satan and his new best friend B getting shot, he expels his evil side after experiencing immense emotional turmoil. This manifestation becomes Evil Buu, the physical form of the evil side of Majin Buu. After losing the battle against his evil counterpart, he becomes Super Buu, a version of Majin Buu who's a lot stronger compared to his previous forms. Unlike his previous two halves, one being incredibly thin and the other obese respectively, Super Buu is muscular and much taller than both of the previous forms of Buu. He is also much more humanoid, having a muscled, well-proportioned body. He looks more of an adult version compared to the childlike form previously. He also gains the ability to sense power levels, as he immediately finds where the lookout is. His cognitive abilities have improved so much that he could recognize that Videl is Mr. Satan's daughter, as well as being able to count every last living being on Earth, counting them all one by one. He does that just to show Piccolo he isn't willing to wait and be manipulated. He tells Piccolo to go and bring the fighter that Goku promised he would fight against. This forces Piccolo to take extreme measures and make Krillin take Trunks and Goten to the time chamber. There they train for about less than an hour in real life time, which equates to less than 15 days, since 1 minute in real time equals to 6 hours inside the time chamber. There, Gotenks managed to get a lot stronger and master the first level of Super Saiyan, as he could transform into a Super Saiyan right after fusing into his base form. However, due to Gotenks' playful and childish behavior, he treats this fight more as a spectacle and does not take it seriously, even at one point pretending like he could no longer fight, as he dramatically pretends to have lost all his energy just to mess with Piccolo. Consequently, this backfires as Piccolo decides to blow the entrance, trapping both of them with Super Buu.
Looking like study time.
Trying to.
Oh, your Lenovo Aura edition can block all my distractions. Sorry, is that distracting?
Just our roomy routine.
Find your focus on a Lenovo laptop with the power of Intel inside at Best Buy.
Gillette Labs green bar ain't no gimmick.
It releases trapped hairs for a closer shave.
Hey, I was gonna say that.
Upon realizing that he would be sealed for eternity with no way to eat any candy, Super Buu gets so angry and screams so hard that he rips through space and time. This creates a portal to the real world. Super Buu makes his escape, leaving both Piccolo and Gotenks behind. As everyone in the lookout is at Buu's mercy, on the other side are Gotenks and Piccolo trying to punch a hole like Super Buu did, but to no avail, as neither one of them is strong enough. Gotenks says, "Looks like I have no choice." Piccolo exclaims and says, "What are you doing?" Gotenks then throws his hands in the air and then locks in as he starts powering up greatly. Gotenks starts emitting electricity around his body and then a shining bright light as he transforms into a Super Saiyan 3. Gotenks is so strong in this form that he could easily replicate Super Buu's feat and scream his way through the real world. While this is the first time we see Gotenks achieve Super Saiyan 3 on screen, it wasn't the first time he unlocked it. Just like Goku, who unlocked the form in the other world, Gotenks has also achieved the form off screen prior to this event. This was greatly hinted in the manga by Akira Toriyama, where we see Goten and Trunks having a conversation on how their new technique has a time limit weakness, as they can only use it for 5 minutes. This is when Goten says maybe they should change into that form right away so they can beat him. But Trunks says they should make this more interesting and only transform to what he calls the Ultra Super Saiyan, when there is only 5 minutes left. In addition, in the anime, this same scene includes a part where you can visibly see what looks like a silhouette of Gotenks Super Saiyan 3, which makes it even more obvious. By the way, as a side note, and I'm gonna go on a tangent here, I just kinda dislike how Goten got over his mother's death so quickly. Like, I know he's still a kid, but I feel like this should have been more of a reason for him to be, like, a little bit more mad and intent on getting revenge. I honestly feel like the show just genuinely forgot that Goten just literally saw his own mother die in front of him. Let's not forget that Gohan literally saw a random ass robot he just met die and got so mad that he unlocked a new form. I mean, I just dislike how the show constantly mishandled Goten's character. But I digress. On a more positive note, I just want to comment that I really find it funny how in manga chapter 493, when Gotenks transforms, Piccolo shockingly asks Gotenks how he did it, and Gotenks literally just says, "I don't know," and follows up with, "By the way, I'm super strong now." This, of course, wouldn't make much sense, because in the anime, Goku was shown going Super Saiyan 3 one more time in front of Goten and Trunks when he was teaching them the fusion dance. He shows them how, in order to go Super Saiyan 3, you must first achieve Super Saiyan 2 and then literally dig deeper. Well, at least that's according to Goku. However, the reason why I mentioned this is because this was a filler scene, but showing how Gotenks managed to achieve this form, you can argue that this scene was missing in the manga. And speaking of things missing, unlike Goku, Gotenks only has the standard green Super Saiyan eyes, and doesn't have the pupils like Goku's Super Saiyan 3. This could be because Goku is a full-blooded Saiyan, and as such, he can tap more into his primal instincts. In fact, according to the video game Raging Blast, Super Saiyan 3 is a form that uses a Saiyan's full potential with power extracted from every drop of their blood, which could explain how a full-blooded Saiyan would look a bit different. Also, it's interesting to note how Super Saiyan 3 is the only form that has something to do with time and space, as when Goku went Super Saiyan 3, his time on Earth was reduced significantly. This is the same with Gotenks, which cuts his fusion time significantly after using the form, as he can only do it for 5 minutes. This is possible because Super Saiyan 3 is a form that transcends time and space. Like I mentioned earlier, Goku was able to shake the afterlife in the movie Fusion Reborn, a place that is beyond the concepts of space and time. I honestly would love to have seen a truly mastered Super Saiyan 3 form on screen. Speaking of which...
Pizza up! We're trapped by dishes!
Don't worry, they've got new Dawn Power Suds. It traps, locks, and removes 99% of grease, so it doesn't get passed from dish to dish.
Ooh, clean and stacked.
Like ducks in a row, new Dawn Power Suds.
Are you ready now? To witness a power not seen for thousands of years? I know Vinci was to be the best, to be the greatest Saiyan alive, as I always have been.
You say I'm arrogant, I say damn right. That's pride in the Saiyan I am.
At long last, I've ascended.
After nearly 30 years from the last canon Super Saiyan 3 transformation in the main anime timeline, Vegeta has finally went even further beyond, achieving the very form that he has continued to skip. Whether it was Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, or even Super, Vegeta was infamously known to skip the 3rd level, with Vegeta going Super Saiyan 4 in GT, and in Super he uses the God forms. It seemed like there was little to no chance that we would ever see an actual Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in the canon verse of Dragon Ball, as the Saiyan Prince has no problem appearing in various video games basking in his long golden hair glory, from his appearance in Dokkan Battle to Dragon Ball Heroes and even Raging Blast, where we see an entire story featuring a what-if scenario on Vegeta unlocking Super Saiyan 3, and then using it to fight every other Super Saiyan 3 user in order to prove he is the strongest. So even though this was nothing like how it was imagined in these games, we have finally got Vegeta achieving Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Daima episode 12, where Vegeta is seen engaging in a battle against the Tamagami. They are extremely powerful warriors who guard the Dragon Balls from being used by anyone who is deemed unworthy. Due to their immense strength, it was said that even someone like Deborah who scales to Cell wasn't able to beat them. Naturally, this means Vegeta's facing against an enemy that he can't afford to hold back against for long. He engages against the Tamagami, and Vegeta's pushed to his limits. He ascends to Super Saiyan 2. The surge in power gives him the upper hand, and it seems like he's on the verge of overwhelming his opponent. Just as the battle reaches its peak and Vegeta looks like he has the slight edge, the ancient Namekian Neva watches in awe. Impressed by Vegeta's strength, he decides to spice things up, granting the Tamagami a tremendous power boost. With this newfound strength, the tide of battle shifts. The Tamagami, now far more powerful, begins to overpower Vegeta with brutal force, ultimately launching him deep into the ocean. Undeterred, Vegeta delivers a punch underwater, but the strike barely causes a ripple. In retaliation, the Tamagami lands a crushing blow and lifts Vegeta from the depths, unleashing a devastating energy blast that sends the Saiyan Prince spiraling into a vulnerable state. The blast strips Vegeta of his Super Saiyan 2 form, reducing him back to his previous state. Falling deep into the ocean, Vegeta seems on the brink of defeat, but his fighting spirit is far from extinguished. Clenching his fist, his eyes snap open with renewed resolve. A surge of energy courses through him, crackling with raw electricity as his body flickers with the unmistakable glow of Super Saiyan 2 once more. With a mighty roar, he unleashes a powerful Ki, sending the Tamagami reeling back, thus restoring the balance of the fight. Vegeta then starts powering up. The ocean churns violently as if being devoured by an unseen force. The intense pressure and energy building beneath the surface creates a massive whirlpool, twisting the waters into a spiraling chaos. Suddenly, a blinding flare of light erupts from the depth. Everyone else is watching in tense silence, eyes fixed on the Saiyan Prince. Vegeta's powering up further, his hair beginning to spike and lengthen, with the unmistakable hint of aura enveloping him. Vegeta is going even further beyond. Emitting a powerful light of energy that blinds his opponent, we witness the Saiyan Prince in Super Saiyan 3. With this new profound power, he easily overwhelms the Tamagami, even looks like he's toying with him. Mirroring the same treatment Goku gave Trunks, he blocks the Tamagami's weapon with a finger and then starts kicking him around with his arms crossed. This display is reminiscent of Vegito's fighting style, highlighting how in many ways, Vegito was always more like Vegeta than Goku in fighting style. Of course, this is not Vegeta's first time transforming, as once we see Goku's shocked reaction to this, Bulma says that Vegeta has been doing a lot of training by himself, reinforcing that while Vegeta was never the first to unlock a Super Saiyan transformation, he always manages to learn, adapt, and grow strong enough to do so by himself. The key component to understanding how Vegeta acquires new transformations lies in his ability to master what he observes. For example, Vegeta only became a Super Saiyan after learning that Goku had already achieved the form, suggesting that Goku served as a catalyst alongside Vegeta's training. Similarly, Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 3 after witnessing it firsthand, supporting the idea that he usually needs to see new transformations before mastering them through his relentless training. Even in Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta unlocked the God forms by his own, just like he did with Super Saiyan 1 and 2 in Dragon Ball Z and 3 in Dragon Ball Daima. Now, it's interesting to note that Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3 design is a bit different than Goku's Super Saiyan 3. And before you comment that's obviously because Goku and Vegeta have different hair,
there really is nothing like Siege. It's almost genreless in a way. Every round is different. There's so many unique characters. It's a tactical hero shooter. Siege is like chess with guns.
Try Nature Made, clinically studied probiotics. Take charge of your gut.
let's not forget that Gotenks literally has the same hairstyle as Vegeta, yet his Super Saiyan 3 form is exactly like Goku, while Vegeta's hairstyle is reminiscent of Akira Toriyama's original Super Saiyan 3 design he made all those years ago, with the hair lengthening and standing up. Vegeta also has the black dotted pupils just like Goku, which could further solidify that the pupils are either reserved for full-blooded Saiyans or just non-fused characters. I would also like to believe that Vegeta's unique hairstyle has to do with him being a royal blood Saiyan. While what I'm about to say is purely headcanon, but if you remember, according to Raging Blast, Super Saiyan 3 is a form that extracts power from every drop of blood a Saiyan has. This could mean Vegeta having royal blood causes him to mutate to a more controlled variation of Super Saiyan 3. Let's not forget that Super Saiyan 3 has to do with tapping into the powers of the Great Ape, and Vegeta, unlike Goku, was always able to control the Great Ape form far more better. Even in Dragon Ball GT, Vegeta was able to control his Great Ape form far easier than Goku, who was stronger than him in GT. Though I must admit that this is just my own explanation, so please don't take this as some sort of divine truth, because I think the real reason is just to make Vegeta stand out and give a nod to Akira Toriyama's early design. This is not too dissimilar from how the animators gave Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 red hair to simply make him more unique. Before we move on, I just want to address the countless of people arguing why Vegeta never went Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super, and I find it funny that I myself answered this question in a video many years ago. I already saw Goku use Super Saiyan 3 against Kid Buu, and against Trunks in Dragon Ball Super, which again, those are clear signs that Vegeta does not lack the knowledge or talent in Dragon Ball Super to go Super Saiyan 3. But unfortunately, there is one reason why Vegeta might never go Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super. It's because Vegeta already went Super Saiyan 3. I know, hard to believe, but consider this. To be honest, let's not lie to ourselves. The real actual reason is that they never thought about actually giving Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Super. This is a new concept and narrative decision. Now that doesn't mean you're not allowed to use your 300 brain IQ to try to fit it in the timeline. I myself wouldn't worry about it if I were you though. Let's just be happy that for the first time in the franchise, Vegeta has achieved Super Saiyan 3. Or actually, was it really his first time?
I don't just infect you, I control you. In other words, I become you. Octople is now the strongest being in the universe.
It has been common knowledge that Vegeta was infamously known to skip the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. But what if I tell you that he may actually indirectly transformed into this state during Dragon Ball GT? As when Vegeta is possessed by the villain Baby, he transforms into a form where his hair lengthens. Although not as long as your typical Super Saiyan 3, Super Baby Vegeta 2 displays a single prominent band carving across his face. In addition to that, he misses his eyebrows, a significant and prominent trait that only the Super Saiyan 3 transformation exhibits. This isn't merely an observation. I'm neither reaching or using headcanon. In fact, the Dragon Ball GT Perfect files itself state that this form resembles Super Saiyan 3, as if it's almost hinting that it is indeed a variation of the third level. This observation takes more prominence when you notice that Baby Vegeta's first form resembles Super Saiyan. His second form with the spiky and more rigid hair is reminiscent of the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. He achieves this form by doing a pseudo-god ritual with 4 Saiyans. His final form is that of a Super Saiyan 3. This sort of makes sense when you realize Super Baby Vegeta 2 needed to go into a Golden Ozaru just to compete with SSJ4 Goku. Now I realize that none of this is 100% confirmed, and it could be more of a theory if anything. However, due to Dragon Ball Daima introducing Vegeta with a different hairstyle than Goku's Super Saiyan 3, makes it even more possible in a way to suggest Baby Vegeta's hair could still make him a mutated version of Super Saiyan 3. On the topic of theories though, I want to mention 2 other characters who could theoretically become Super Saiyan 3, but we never saw them do it. That will be the 2 fusions of Vegito and Gogeta. Given how Gotenks who could accomplish Super Saiyan 3 almost easily, there would be no reason why either Gogeta or Vegito can't go Super Saiyan 3, especially when now both their counterparts being Goku and Vegeta can achieve it. However, this is likely because unlike Gotenks, Gogeta and Vegito are way too overpowered to the point where going Super Saiyan 1 was an overkill to their opponent. Therefore, neither one of them needed to use anything above Super Saiyan 1. Additionally, there are 2 other characters who are contention to hypothetically have SSJ3, but these 2 have a significantly weaker chance compared to the 2 before. Kefla, the fusion of Kale and Caulifla, was so strong that she could overwhelm a Super Saiyan God Goku in her base, meaning with enough training they could have likely managed to go Super Saiyan 3. Goku Black is also another character who could use Super Saiyan 3 due to him possessing Goku's body. This means he could potentially tap into Goku's Super Saiyan 3 if he really trained for it. But tell me what you think. Do you think either one of them could achieve Super Saiyan 3?
You got this $200 ultra chic skirt and blouse for $60, which means you also got this $200 morning drop-off mic drop for $60.
Like I mentioned early in this video, I will include characters who achieved Super Saiyan 3 in other medias. Spoilers alert, there are a lot. Therefore, I will briefly mention the most notable characters who achieved this transformation, and mention where they achieved it. Though, these characters won't be listed in any order in particular, since some characters achieve different transformations in different games. For example, one early transformation was Future Trunks, who achieved Super Saiyan 3 after Majin Buu gets revived in his timeline. Trunks remembers how he had fought so hard to protect his timeline and then goes Super Saiyan 3. GT Trunks also had a Super Saiyan 3 transformation in Dragon Ball Heroes as well. In fact, Dragon Ball Heroes is so notorious for giving out Super Saiyan 3 to almost every Saiyan with little context aside from some spin-off mangas. Therefore, as you expect, characters like Broly was also shown to have Super Saiyan 3 in so many different games, even before Dragon Ball Heroes. His form in fact debuted in 2009 in the Dragon Battlers game, which was also Vegeta's first Super Saiyan 3 debut as well. In fact, Broly's Super Saiyan 3 is so popular that he made an appearance in Dokkan Battle and even having so many different trading cards. In 2010, Vegito achieved Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Heroes. He gets a very short but well animated scene showcasing how he looks. However, Unfortunately for his other counterpart Gogeta, he only gets an arcade-style animation to him in Dragon Ball Heroes. Bardock, being one of the most wanked characters in Japan, gets Super Saiyan 3 in Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Heroes, and even Super Dragon Ball Heroes, where he is seen fighting against Ultra Instinct Goku. We also get Super Saiyan 3 Kumper, who's actually a decently interesting and new character from the Dragon Ball Heroes universe. He is an ancient evil Saiyan who's incomprehensibly strong. He has a Super Saiyan 3 transformation that could rival the gods, and can also go Super Saiyan 3 as a Golden Uzaro. During a fight with Turles, Raditz obviously for no reason goes Super Saiyan 3. This moment, however, like many, serves as nothing more than a moment of fan service that leads nowhere narratively. Though, if you're a Raditz fan, I'd say it's probably worth it. Speaking of worth it, well, to me at least, I think the most interesting Super Saiyan 3 form is Nappa from Dragon Ball Heroes, which answers a long-lasting question for me. Does he grow hair as a Super Saiyan 3 or not? Humorously enough, he doesn't, but instead his beard gets increasingly longer and becomes golden, which honestly fits a lot. Gohan, who probably needs this form the least, is shown to have it in Dokkan Battle. Now, before we move on to the end of the video, and trust me, you'll want to see what I put for you guys right at the end, I will mention the protagonists of Dragon Ball games that have Super Saiyan 3. Shallow is the protagonist of Dragon Ball Legends, a mobile game released in 2018. Shallow is an ancient Saiyan and is probably one of the most beloved non-canon characters in the Dragon Ball series. This is thanks to his dynamic personality and interesting lore and backstory. He's also voice acted by a fellow YouTuber. Shallow turned Super Saiyan 3 with Goku after training with him. What's interesting about him though is that his Super Saiyan 3 transformation has a tail similar to Akira Toriyama's original Super Saiyan 3 concept. Vita and Note are protagonists of Dragon Ball Heroes who achieved Super Saiyan 3. These two serve little purpose, to be honest, other than being self-insert characters by the audience. Interestingly though, Note was the first Super Saiyan female warrior in 2010. Finally, I want to mention the Future Warrior, who is the character we play as in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. He could also learn how to achieve Super Saiyan 3 after being taught by Vegeta himself. Super Saiyan 3 was always considered to be one of the most difficult forms for a Saiyan to achieve due to the immense physical and mental demands it places on the user. Other than fusions such as Gotenks, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation is exceedingly rare and difficult to attain. For me, this form is always going to be special. Even though I used to dislike this form as a kid, I thought it was just jarring and made Goku look weird. But as I grew up, I appreciated the form, because not only does this form provide a massive boost in strength, but we don't see the form spammed and given to anyone else that easy. Plus, Goku always delivers some of the most coldest lines in this form. My favorite Super Saiyan 3 transformation will always be the one from the Fusion Reborn movie. Nothing is going to beat that glorious Sean Schemmel scream for me. But on the topic of favorite Super Saiyan 3 transformations, let me know what your favorite was. Also, I know that I took so long making this video, but trust me, as you saw from the edits and writing, this video took so much time and effort to complete. So please, if you're excited to see the next video, please give this video a like, I would really appreciate it. Also comment and subscribe.
Light breaks the darkness. This form is my instrument. I have no limits. This is the kind of power I'd be running away from if I were you.
In a world where you've constantly been told what you can't do, who will you choose to be when presented with something different? Ask your healthcare provider what could be.
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet it again.
Super Saiyan 4, the form that isn't handed down or taught, it is a journey back to the very soul of a Saiyan warrior, a journey that goes beyond the confines of transformation by tapping into something far older, more primal. A transformation that breaks every rule we thought we understood about Saiyans. No god ki, no rage, just primal power, pulled straight from their bloodline. This form is accomplished through instinct, through control, and through embracing what it means to be a Saiyan. They say a Saiyan's power knows no limit. This is Super Saiyan 4, the true stepping stone after the regular Super Saiyan. While Super Saiyan transformed the body, SSJ4 transforms the very essence of a Saiyan warrior. It is not just another level of power, it is a return to the Saiyan roots. So in this video, I'll reveal to you the full story on how every Saiyan unlocked Super Saiyan 4 in the Dragon Ball franchise. And just like my previous video on Super Saiyan 3, I'll mention the non-canon Super Saiyan 4s in other media, such as video games and Dragon Ball Heroes. And if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, please show me the support by giving this video a like and watch my previous videos on this topic. But without wasting any more time, let's discuss how every Saiyan unlocked Super Saiyan 4.
Light breaks the darkness. This form is my instrument. I have no limits. This is the kind of power I'd be running away from if I were you.
Years have passed since Goku defeated Kid Buu, and by now he's not just the strongest, he's become something else entirely. A teacher and a mentor. He spent years training Oob, Buu's reincarnation. And yeah, Goku's basically throwing hands with him in base form like it's nothing. That's how far ahead he is at this point. However, in a twist of fate, Goku was turned into a child by the Black Star Dragon Balls. With that, he found himself stripped of his full power, limited not only by size, but by potential. After the wish was concluded, the Black Star Dragon Balls were scattered across the universe. Earth was put on a countdown to destruction. Goku sets off on a mission to recover them, hoping to save the planet. But that journey led him straight into something far worse, a threat hell-bent on taking revenge. This threat was already planted, deep within the remains of Dr. Mu's lab. Hidden in the shadows of a forgotten world, Goku and his friends made a chilling discovery, a containment chamber. Inside it was a strange life form, artificial, incomplete. And unlike anything they had ever seen, this life form was Baby. Created by Dr. Mu as the ultimate weapon, a parasitic being engineered from the DNA of the Tuffle race, designed for one purpose, to annihilate the Saiyans. And in that moment, they didn't realize it, but they had just awakened the most dangerous enemy in the universe. Baby wasn't just powerful, he was strategic, ruthless. His methodology of getting stronger was to infect a host, usually by entering their bodies through a wound and then gradually taking over their mind. He starts with smaller targets, but then works his way through up to larger, more powerful beings. Because just like some of the main villains in the show, they couldn't immediately compete with the obscene evolution of the Saiyan race, as someone like Goku, even at his base, was the most dominant creature in the universe. Baby's first successful Saiyan target was Goten. Due to his power increasing, Baby was able to wound him and take over his body and then his mind. Baby goes through Goten's memories as Baby looks for the strongest warrior on Earth. He comes up with a name: Vegeta. With Goten under his control, Baby moves fast. His next target was Gohan. With this necessary position, Baby is now strong enough to confront and challenge Vegeta. Vegeta puts up a fight. Though he's not an easy target, his pride, his willpower, they don't break easy. But Baby was ready. The moment he got a cut in, that was it. He dug in and little by little he took over until the Prince of Saiyans was gone. Now in full control of Vegeta's body, Baby's now the strongest in the universe. Everything he needed, strength, respect, and a front row seat to Earth's throne. He infects the entire planet, every human, every Saiyan. And when Goku finally returns, the world he left behind isn't anymore. His friends turned, his sons are no longer the same, but above all, his greatest rival was possessed. Standing across from him now is Vegeta. But it's not just Vegeta, it's an amped up Vegeta by the possession boost. Gohan and Goten at their full strength were no match for Goku at his base. Yet Baby Vegeta, in what looks like his base appearance, forces Goku to go even further beyond.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
However, Goku isn't able to maintain nor utilize his ultimate form to the fullest potential. He quickly loses the form in seconds. With that, Goku's defenseless. He gets battered by Baby, who uses the Saiyans to do a pseudo-god ritual that allows him to transform into Super Baby. Baby then unleashes his ultimate move, the Revenge Death Ball. It is not just powerful, it is symbolic. A twisted mirror of Goku's Spirit Bomb. Where the Spirit Bomb draws on pure energy from living beings, the Revenge Death Ball pulls its strength from hatred, control, and corrupted life force, all from Earth. All from the people under Baby's influence. This causes his body to mutate to a Super Saiyan 3-like form. Baby has surpassed Goku, and with this attack he doesn't only intend to finish off Goku, but his move is so devastating that it has the ability to atomize you on the molecular level. So much so that your soul would be destroyed and you cannot be wished back by the Dragon Balls. The attack approaches Goku, swallowing him in a surge of dark energy. Everyone thinks he's dead, but he was barely saved by Kibito Kai, who grabs him right before the attack hits. Goku evidently survives and makes his way to the sacred land of the Kais, and with the help of the Elder Kai, he trains, recovers, and regains his strength. Meanwhile, Baby prepares to move Earth's population to planet Tuffle, but just as everything seems under control, Goku returns for round 2, and this time, something's different. He has his tail back. No explanation yet, just a piece of his Saiyan heritage restored and waiting to awaken something far greater. The show is already setting up the stage to something special. Goku launches into the fight with everything he's got. He's faster, more calculated. His strikes actually land for a moment. It feels like he's closed the gap, but then Baby just stands there, calm, unshaken. He looks down at his body, brushing off the spot where Goku hit him, and almost annoyingly remarks that Goku didn't change at all. From there, Goku gets absolutely whooped by Baby Vegeta. Goku's seemingly defeated, beaten, and nearly unconscious. Above him floats the beautiful blue orb in the sky that is Earth. It shines on Goku like a light in the darkness. His inability to protect it frustrates him, a symbolism for everything he fights for. The connection to Earth, to life, to everything he's fighting for, it sparks something ancient. His tail flickers, his blood starts to react, and then it begins. Goku's body convulses, swelling with uncontrollable power. His scream shakes the ground, his eyes burn red, and in the light of a full Earth, the Great Ape returns. But this time, it is different. It's no ordinary Saiyan that transformed into an Ozaru. It's Goku, who's essentially the strongest Saiyan in history up to that point. He was so strong, in fact, that his Ozaru form was that of a Super Saiyan. But power this raw comes at a cost. His mind fractures. His instincts take over. He roars into the heavens, tearing through the skies of planet Tuffle. Goku wreaks havoc against the Tuffles. This ironically makes Baby Vegeta relive the memories of his home planet being once taken over by the Great Ape. And just like then, the efforts to protect his people is futile. As Goku's way too powerful, nothing can stop him, except for a voice. And that voice is his own granddaughter. She pleads to Goku and makes him remember who he is. The golden Ozaru looks up to the sky, and a pulse of intense energy starts to surround him. Unlike previous times, it isn't chaotic, but focused. The massive form of the Ozaru begins to shimmer, light coursing through his fur, his muscles start to tighten, and then his enormous form begins to shrink. His body compresses, folding in on itself as the primal beast gives way to something more refined. Goku's ascending to the next level, shattering his limits once more in the shape of what feels like the true evolution of the Super Saiyan transformation. As the dust settles, we see a design never imagined before. Instead of your standard spiky gold hair form, Goku looks different. His body is lean, yet so powerful. Covered in blood-red fur, his hair is longer, black, untamed, more beast than man. His eyes are sharp, golden with a red outline. Goku becomes the first Saiyan to fully harness the raw destructive potential of the Great Ape. This isn't just a power boost, this is something far beyond that. While traditional Super Saiyan forms multiply the strength, this form obliterates those ceilings altogether. As the GT Perfect Files explicitly explains that the Super Saiyan 4 transformation is a form that takes the user to their utmost limitation, basically taking the user back to their physical prime, which explains how Goku gets older in GT as a Super Saiyan 4. Not only that, but it's been highlighted that Goku looks taller in Super Saiyan 4, being 6'1" tall when compared to other characters who's supposedly as tall as him in his regular base form. I also have to mention before we move on that Goku has a second variation of this form, called Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4, or rather, Full Powered Super Saiyan 4, where Goku undergoes a pseudo-god ritual that completely shatters his previous limitations, making him go past any limits he might have had before.
When too much work bogs you down, Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where humans and AI coordinate work together. AI makes it easy to hand off routine tasks, streamline workflows, and keep everyone focused on the work that matters most. That's how work gets handled. That's Asana. Visit us at asana.com. That's ASANA.com.
We're witnessing isn't just a power-up, it's a culmination. Super Saiyan 4 is different from every form that came before it, not just in appearance, but in function. It is the first Super Saiyan transformation that fuses instinct with intellect. It is primal rage, focused with ancient strength and modern precision. Unlike Super Saiyan 3, which burns through energy recklessly, Super Saiyan 4 is sustainable and stamina friendly, even adding more buffs to the user, like insane heat and cold resistance. His movement are sharper and more precise. His durability should be highlighted as well, as he was able to tank a move that works similar to Hakai. Once Baby Vegeta throws his revenge death ball, Goku is able to not only tank the move, but defuse an attack that was supposed to atomize him. This makes Super Saiyan 4 the ultimate transformation in the GT timeline.
But is he strong enough to take on 2 Super Saiyan 4s? 2? Could never allow my reason to be overpowered by the primal mind. At long last, I've ascended.
After the defeat of Baby and later on Super 17, Vegeta has once again witnessed the gap between him and Goku widening. Not only does Goku possess his Super Saiyan 3, but now he can wield a primal Saiyan power that far exceeds it. This spurred something in Vegeta. His drive to catch up to Goku has reignited once again. Vegeta starts to train his body relentlessly, though he isn't able to close the gap naturally. With him missing a tail in the right circumstances to transform, with the help of his brilliant wife Bulma, he found another way. She engineers a device capable of recreating the Blitz wave that triggered Baby's transformation. While yes, Vegeta could easily conjure an artificial moon in his hand, it wouldn't be enough. What he needed was overwhelming power, something on the scale of what Baby Vegeta received. In fact, according to the GT Perfect files, when Baby transformed into a Golden Oozaru, he was bathed in 1,000 times the normal amount of Blitz waves. This could theoretically suggest that Baby Vegeta may have got 1,000 times stronger. With the machine ready, so was Vegeta. On the battlefield, Goku's facing off the strongest enemy in Dragon Ball GT, Omega Shenron. He is the final Shadow Dragon, a fusion of every corrupted Dragon Ball, born from the selfish wishes of humanity. He was the embodiment of destruction. Even Super Saiyan 4 wasn't enough. Goku has been pushed to his limit and isn't able to defeat Omega Shenron. Even his ultimate attack, the Super Dragon Fist, couldn't completely finish off Omega Shenron, as he was able to regenerate after the attack. This had pushed Goku to the edge. With no options left, Goku made a choice. He must sacrifice his life in order to take Omega Shenron with him. That is when the Prince of All Saiyans makes his mark on the battlefield, urging Goku to not think about doing the same mistake he did all those years ago against Majin Buu. Vegeta doesn't waste time either. He's not here for speeches or prideful declarations. He knows what's at stake, so thanks to Bulma's new machine, he makes the gamble. The device activates and a jolt of energy sent into Vegeta's body, and just like that, Vegeta starts to transform into the giant Oozaru. Though at first, Vegeta seems to lose control momentarily, he lashes out, destroying buildings around. Unable to distinguish friend from foe, Vegeta grabs Goku at one point. Omega Shenron makes fun of the Great Ape. Though, unlike Goku, Vegeta is able to regain consciousness over the transformation far easier than him, as Vegeta's mind is sharpened by decades of war and willpower. It just shows how Vegeta is one of the Saiyans who could still fully control the Oozaru form. In fact, Vegeta is the only canon character we know who have mastered the ability to completely control his Oozaru form, even having the ability to speak while transformed as seen in the Saiyan Saga. So with this, Vegeta is now harnessing the power of the Great Ape and going Super Saiyan, immediately shifting from Golden Oozaru into the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Vegeta has finally ascended. Though we have to highlight this moment because Vegeta's ascension into Super Saiyan 4 is a bit different than Goku's. Vegeta's characterization is very consistent with how Dragon Ball Ball Z ended, with Vegeta showing respect and admiration to Goku, and also accepting that he is number one. So in Dragon Ball GT, this isn't simply a moment for Vegeta to try and steal the spotlight for himself. He doesn't do it to stand out, he did it to stand next to Goku as his equal. In fact, Goku was prepared to go on a suicide mission and fight Omega. Vegeta shows growth and maturity by saying this.
Well then, shall we? Kakarot, if we attack now, we'll die. Are you serious? Search your feelings, you know it as well as I. It is true. But if I have to die again, I'm ready. No, there's no need when there's fusion.
As you know, the old Vegeta that we all love and know would have went hot-headed against an enemy several times stronger than him and then get wrecked before Goku pleads with him to fuse. But this time, Vegeta does none of that. He recognized immediately that him and Goku have to fuse, suggesting something that he would never have done in Dragon Ball.
The Saiyans, they're here. I am they. Unfortunately for you, Omega.
Right after Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan 4, him and Goku stand side by side. They power up and shake the entire Earth with their aura alone. But like I mentioned, Vegeta already believes they are no match for Omega and they must fuse. Goku's more than stoked to join bodies and summon the warrior that has no bound to his strength. This gives birth to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the embodiment and symbolism of Ultimate Saiyan strength. This isn't merely an addition of power, this is the combination of both Vegeta and Goku mixed and multiplied. Gogeta doesn't only possess their power, but his fighting IQ and potential far exceeds his individual counterparts. The last time we saw Gogeta was in the movie Fusion Reborn, when Goku and Vegeta faced off against the embodiment of evil Janemba, a character so powerful that he was able to reshape hell in his own image. A villain so broken that Goku literally shook the afterlife with his aura alone, being able to affect a realm that is transcendental in size. As I explained before, every universe in the macrocosm is described to be infinite, and the other world is stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time in the super exciting guide. This same Goku was fodderized quickly by Janemba. This meant that the only way to combat this level of threat is to summon a warrior even more broken than Janemba. This gave birth to the angel born in hell, Gogeta. In seconds after being revealed, Gogeta was able to erase Janemba on the molecular level. In an old interview, Akira Toriyama once said that when he couldn't imagine a character stronger than Goku, fusion became the answer. He even stated that Goku at the end of Z was the strongest incarnation of the character, and if that version needed help, then fusion was the only logical next step. Even Whis said multiple times in Dragon Ball Super that if Goku and Vegeta wanted to overcome Beerus, then they should work together and fuse. Neither Goku or Vegeta could stand toe-to-toe with Omega Shenron, even at their full strength. But Gogeta stood still and dismantled him. His movements were so incomprehensibly fast that Omega couldn't even register how many times he'd been hit. As I stated before, Super Saiyan 4 is a limit breaker form that takes the user back to their physical prime. So, in essence, you're theoretically looking at the strongest version of Gogeta that could ever exist, which could make sense why his hair was red. In almost every media, official source, and even video games, they all collectively portray Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as a being of unmatched power, being described as a warrior with no equal in strength. In Dragon Ball Daima, following the defeat of Majin Buu, a new threat emerges from the demon realm, King Goma. After observing the unparalleled strength of the Saiyans being able to slay an enemy that even the gods couldn't, the new Supreme King of the Demon Realm uses the Earth's Dragon Ball to revert Goku and his allies to their child forms, aiming to diminish their power and prevent them from posing a threat. Ironically, this exact tactic backfires, as Goku and his friends have no choice but to journey to the Demon Realm, or maybe just use the Namekian Dragon Balls. Just a thought. But to be fair, they had to rescue Dende as well. As the series progresses, Goku and his companions journey through the Demon Realm to gather its native balls. No homo. Seeking to undo Goma's wish and restore their original forms, during this quest, Goku faces numerous battles. Among those are the Temagamis. There are powerful beings who protect the Dragon Balls from being overused. It is even said that someone like Dabura who scales to Perfect Cell isn't able to defeat them. Yet next to the power of the Super Saiyans, they were utterly defeated. Their journey finally leads them to find King Goma, the final antagonist of the Dragon Ball Daima series. King Goma was able to obtain a powerful Oculus object that serves him with immeasurable magical powers. Simply put, he's quite literally invincible in this form. Not only that, but his magical powers increases throughout the battle. This pushed Goku to use his Super Saiyan 3. However, against the overwhelming power of King Goma, Goku finds himself outmatched. He is beaten and overwhelmed by the immense power of the Eye. In a critical moment, Neva, a legendary Namekian from the Demon Realm, intervenes. Recognizing the dire situation, Neva offers his unique energy to Goku. This fusion of Neva's magic with Goku's Saiyan physiology triggers a dramatic transformation. As Neva's energy surges into Goku's broken body, something begins to stir deep within him. Something ancient. Something primal. A radiant aura bursts out, wrapping Goku in a cocoon of blinding light as we see his battle child form begin to tremble violently. The ground beneath him crackling from the sheer force of the transformation, his body begins to change. No longer the small child forced into weakness, but something far greater. His frame grows longer, muscle mass returning with an overwhelming density, his hair lengthening, wild and untamed. But unlike Super Saiyan 3, it carries a fierce raw energy that feels more complete. His tail returning behind him, glowing with the same blazing power. The light explodes outward, and standing there is a Goku the likes of which the Demon Realm has never seen. Super Saiyan 4 has been reborn. His body is once again cloaked in a deep crimson fur, a primal nod to his Ozaru lineage, but this time, his hair doesn't remain pitch black like in the original GT Super Saiyan 4. Instead, it shifts into a reddish tone, blending with the wild energy coursing through him, his design matching more closely to the great ape. His movements are raw, aggressive, and instinctive, not the clean, calculated techniques of a seasoned martial arts warrior, but rather the untamed ferocity of an apex predator. Despite all that raw power, Goku couldn't fully utilize the potential of the form in his child body. Goku fought with everything he had, but ultimately, King Goma's evolving magic overwhelmed him. He was defeated. But that wasn't the end. When Goku later on regains his adult body, his true Saiyan Prime was restored. That primal force within him has reawakened naturally. This time, Goku faces off against Goma in his adult form. His strength fully restored, Goku powers up to Super Saiyan. His transformation is reminiscent to the way he transformed during the Namek Saga. He then goes Super Saiyan 2, and just like that, every true Dragon Ball fan is jumping from their seats, as Goku's doing a callback to his legendary moment against Majin Buu. Goku remarks that this is Super Saiyan 2. What follows after is the legendary Super Saiyan 3 transformation, unveiled once again in all its glory, looking epic as ever. While in the past Babidi called Super Saiyan 2 useless, this time, Goma thinks SSJ3 is useless against him. And this is the moment that everyone was anticipating. Will Goku naturally unlock Super Saiyan 4? And Goku doesn't disappoint, as he declares this is a bonus. Goku starts screaming, electricity intensifying, his eyes burn red, and Goku removes his shirt. His roars shake the very fabric of the demon world, the very air around him crackling with the violent electrical storm. His immense power is felt and echoed through all three different realms all at once. Goku has finally reawoken Super Saiyan 4, and this time, it is entirely his power. In his adult form, Goku's Super Saiyan 4 power is on an entirely different level. The raw strength, the refined instincts, and the perfect synergy between mind and body. He is even able to continuously get stronger as the battle goes on. At the peak of this fight, Goku was even shooting a Kamehameha that not only rips through the invincible body of Goma, but busting through all three different realms. This wasn't just an attack, this was a declaration. It was a symbol of Saiyan power that stands above anything that you have ever seen. Just like I did previously with my earlier video on how every Saiyan unlocked Super Saiyan 3, I'll mention the characters who achieved Super Saiyan 4 outside the main anime timeline. Those include characters from video games and Dragon Ball Heroes. I'll briefly talk about the most notable characters who achieved this transformation, and mention where they achieved it. Though, keep in mind, these characters won't be listed in any particular order. However, it must be stated that the first Super Saiyan 4 that we have ever seen after Dragon Ball GT was Broly, as you might have expected. Broly's first Super Saiyan 4 transformation was introduced in Dragon Ball Heroes in 2014. What's interesting about Broly's Super Saiyan 4 experience is that he channels his legendary Super Saiyan status to become a legendary Super Saiyan Grade Ape and a legendary Super Saiyan 4, which is even stronger than the standard Super Saiyan 4 form. Unlike other characters who achieve this form through traditional means, Broly's transformation is facilitated by the Black Smoke Shenron, who uses dark energy to induce that change. Later on in Super Dragon Ball Heroes, Broly uses a stronger version of SSJ4 as he attains the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4. He achieved that by literally just screaming after fighting against Vegito Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4. And this power-up makes him fight against two Vegetos, one of them being Vegito's Super Saiyan Blue. Yeah, I won't lie, Super Dragon Ball Heroes is bonkers. Speaking of the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, we have to mention that Goku and Vegeta, who have also achieved this transformation in their hero games. Unlike the normal Super Saiyan 4, the Limit Breaker state has a few notable changes, like the hair being more reddish and a little more similar to the Daima version. In addition, the fur color shifts to a more crimson color. Their bodies also look more muscular. It also looks like an SSJ4 enhanced with god powers. Interestingly enough though, Gogeta, who already has red hair, looks the most overpowered in this form, as his power skyrockets to an unfathomable level. His hair also lengthens similar to the Super Saiyan 3 effects. Additionally, his aura, on the other hand, has an interesting yet familiar vibe, as it is very similar to the perfected Ultra Instinct state. Gogeta's other counterpart, Vegito, also has two different Super Saiyan 4s. However, it seems that Heroes wanted to make the red hair exclusive to Gogeta only, as Vegito's first design is the standard black hair design, and later on, after achieving the Limit Breaker form, his hair becomes reddish like that of Zeno, Goku, and Vegeta. Another character you might have not expected to have Super Saiyan 4 is Gohan, and his transformation is unique in the sense that he's the only Saiyan Earthling hybrid to achieve this transformation. He achieves this form in an animated cutscene during Dragon Ball Heroes when he's facing off against Super Android 18. Gohan powers up from his Super Saiyan form and achieves the 4th level. Also, another character, and of course, Bardock being one of the most popular characters in the franchise, he has achieved Super Saiyan 4 in Dokkan Battle, which is a popular Dragon Ball Online game. Beat and Note are the protagonists of the online series Dragon Ball Heroes. Both characters begin as humans, but through the use of the Dragon Ball Heroes machine technology, they are able to become pure Saiyans and achieve unprecedented power. Beat and Note are made to be basically self-insert characters for us, the players or the audience. They fight alongside the Dragon Team, similar to the character you play as in the Xenoverse games, and as a result of that, we have seen them achieve many of the popular transformations. Among them are the Super Saiyan forms. Finally, and most unexpectedly, there is a final version of Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. During the events of the Dark Demon Realm mission, Super Saiyan 4 Zeno Gogeta faces off against a powerful demon named Finn. But in a shocking turn, Finn manages to absorb Gogeta, resulting in the birth of Dark Gogeta. This version of Gogeta is a corrupt fusion, and has the immense power of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I'll be honest, I never knew about this character prior to making this video, which kind of just highlights the insanity of the Dragon Ball Heroes manga. Now, before we end the video, I urge you to stick out until the very end, as I'll drop a little teaser for you guys like I did in the Super Saiyan 3 video.
Light breaks the darkness. This form is my instrument. I have no limits. This is the kind of power I'd be running away from if I were you.
Super Saiyan 4 is a transformation that respects the past while rewriting the future. In a way, it's not just the next stage in Saiyan evolution, it's a return to their roots. Super Saiyan 4 wasn't just a transformation, it was a statement, a reminder that no matter how far enemies evolve, Saiyans were always built to surpass. I genuinely love this form, as it feels like a natural progression to the original series. It's not trying so hard to impress by being flamboyant or introducing new hair colors. The form knows what it wants to be. It felt like a natural progression of the original series, staying true to the lore without breaking the logic of the world that Toriyama built. That's why so many fans have grown to appreciate it over time. And now with Dragon Ball Daima, the form has finally returned. Whether it will one day be integrated into Dragon Ball Super timeline remains to be seen. But if it ever does, I'd love to see a combined version with Ultra Instinct, merging Primal Instinct with Divine Mastery. Just a thought, let me know what you guys think. And also let me know if you guys like these kind of videos. As you may have already knew, I made the full story on how every Saiyan unlocked Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to support the next video, all I ask for is a simple like and a comment. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I've grown from a man to a god.
School bells are ringing. It's time to get the perfect phone plan for your kids at half the price you're used to. Telomobile comes to rescue your family budget with the most flexible phone plans in the US. Need just talk and text for the little ones? No problem. Have a data-hungry teenager? Go for unlimited at just $25 a month. Easily upgrade individual lines and build a family plan that fits everyone's needs. Visit Tello.com and discover more.
Divinity and godhood is nothing strange to the world of Dragon Ball. Ever since the beginning, Goku has been interacting with divinity in some way, shape, or form. From holy lands to holy waters to actual deities, it has always played a key role in the franchise. Goku was even formally offered the job of Kami at the end of the original Dragon Ball. But while not every god is a fighter by trade, most gods are either powerful or useful in some capacity. In fact, the very nature of being a god invokes a level of respect in and out of the universe. While there are many deities in the series, the ones that are present certainly leave a lasting impression. However, even though scaling the gods is a tad bit easy compared to other groups in the show, I still guarantee that you will find some fascinating information in this video, as I won't just mention your standard god characters, but I'll also include some characters with divine ki like Goku and Vegeta. So without further ado, let's rank the gods in the Dragon Ball franchise from weakest to strongest.
Go on, what are you waiting for?
Okay, then I'll try again.
Korin is a deity who lives at the top of Korin's tower, located right underneath the lookout. He's an immortal cat and is at least 800 years old when he makes his introduction in Dragon Ball. While little is known about him, he is actually a legendary figure amongst the warrior world, hailed as the god of martial arts. This frequently leads to surprise and disbelief for those who meeting him for the first time, as his appearance has yet to attain the fame of his reputation. Though, according to Daizenshu 7, Korin originates from the other world and was sent to Earth to assist the Kami of Earth, which is a holy position held by a pure-hearted mortal selected either by Mr. Popo or a successor chosen by the previous Kami of Earth. The young Master Roshi was the first one of many to climb the tall Korin Tower and train under the legendary Korin. It took him 3 years to catch Korin and obtain the sacred water. While Korin isn't really strong compared to the other gods on this list, his knowledge is very useful as he knows how to produce the most important thing in the Dragon Ball universe, and that's senzu beans. Also, apparently there is one key trait that makes him very useful, is that he could sense power levels better than most characters. As when Goku comes out the time chamber, he meets Korin and shows off the fruits of his training. There, Korin comments that he still isn't strong enough to beat Cell. So if it's worth noting, cats are canonically more accurate than scouters apparently.
Yeah, come on! We want the same training you gave Goku, Kami!
Please listen carefully then. I taught Goku nothing! That's what I taught him!
There is something very fitting that just like the placement on this list, Kami is a character who geometrically is located right above Korin's tower, right in the heart of the earth. The god or Kami of Earth oversees everything. Now it must be noted that as the video goes on, I'll be grouping characters who are similar in power in one placement. So while the earth had many gods in the past, they're more of overseers, and their jurisdiction is limited to the role of supervisor. However, that doesn't mean they have no supernatural abilities or powers. They in fact have many of the powers associated with gods, including the ability to see and sense events around the world, to travel and guide souls to the other world, and to be a general protector of the people. They also can hear the prayers of the mortal men. This gives a way for a funny scene during the World Tournament arc where Krillin is praying to God that he isn't matched with Goku in the first round, and Piccolo smirkingly remarks to Krillin that he is basically talking to Dende.
神様、お願いします。一回戦でこいつらだけには当たりませんように。
クリリン、神様と言ってもデンデだぞ。
So we can't really call this a ranking video without really discussing which Kami was weaker. Now, out of all the three, Guru was very old and feral. However, it can be argued he was a super Namekian at his time and thus one of the strongest characters on this list. Although from the time we have seen him, he could barely stand up. His old age granted him special powers on the other hand, unlocking people's hidden potential.
From Geico Subconscious News, I'm Tammy Racing Thoughts. Tonight, you just left for work and had a non-specific feeling that something was happening to your place and it wasn't good. Dan?
Exactly, Tammy. The details are hazy. It could be smoke damage, theft, or just too much caffeine, but you can't stop thinking about it.
But with renter's insurance through Geico, your stuff is covered, so you don't have to worry.
And that's great, because the weekend is coming up and it's chock full of social obligations that are ready to fill that void.
Oh boy, will they, Dad? Worry less and get more with Geico.
Dende, like Kami, belongs to the Dragon Clan, possesses the special powers of helping others, but he isn't the fighter type. While his potential was unlocked and can be argued to have a higher power level than Kami, his lack of knowledge of martial arts makes him weaker than Kami, who at one point trained Kid Goku. So I think Kami is the strongest planet guardian that we have seen. Also, it is worth noting there was past Guardians of Earth, however there is no way to actually power scale how strong they are as we have never seen them in action.
Don't give us that rubbish! How can we not know ourselves? I know myself better than anybody!
Oh, is that a fact? So you know yourself, do you? How come you don't know that you are weak?
Oh! Would you like to...
A good rule of thumb is to make sure your bodyguard is always stronger than you. A bad rule of thumb is to never let your bodyguard actually do anything. Mr. Popo, surprisingly, is stronger than Kame. He mops the floor with a Goku who just defeated King Piccolo. His battle power is revealed to be almost as high as Raditz during the Saiyan Saga. He also blocks Goten and Trunks in an anime filler scene during the Buu Saga. In every medium, Mr. Popo is depicted as someone stronger than he has any right of being. Goku claims he was trained by Kami during the 23rd Budokai, but maybe he should have stuck around with Mr. Popo for a bit longer. While it is debated whether Mr. Popo is in fact a deity or not, he is internally bound to serve and be a caretaker to the Temple of Kame. He holds immense knowledge in fighting and has lived for as long as ever. And like I said, in the Daizenshu, it was stated that he came from the other world to assist all the Kamis.
Now down you go! Huh?
King Yemma, also known as Enma, is based on an actual deity in Japan. He is the man who judges the dead and decides if they go to heaven or hell. A pretty big deal if you ask me. His authority and position is immediately indicated to the viewer once you see how Kami, the god of earth, acts around him. He looks absolutely terrified from angering him or saying anything that would offend him. And just like many gods in the early days of Dragon Ball, they always seem to act like a ceiling for Goku to surpass. We're immediately told about how impressive his power is and how it even surpasses Goku at that point, with King Yemma's power level being stated to be around 1300 in the Tree of Might movie pamphlet, clearly making him even stronger than the most recent enemy that Goku died against, which was Raditz, with his power level being around 1200. King Yemma was also told to actually travel through Snake Way just like Goku will have to in order to meet King Kai. Of course, Goku, just like most gods he trained under, it becomes just a matter of time until he surpasses their power.
Under King Kai's tutelage, Goku was able to master techniques in a year's time that would have taken him 20 years to master on Earth. including the devastating Spirit Bomb.
With significant more authority compared to the previous gods, the Kinkais, or King of Worlds, they hold a much more reputable stature in the universe. They live in the other world, a place that is transcendental to the mortal universe, beyond the concepts of space and time themselves. Each Kai holds the authority of each quadrant of the universe. King Kai, the most known figure, is the North Kai. He oversees the North Quadrant. And that's nothing to be snuffed at, as each quadrant in the universe is described in the Daizenshu as a collection of galaxies or nebulas of endless planets and stars. Each Kaio governs that part of the universe. Aside from their stature, the Kais themselves are considered exceptional martial artists, with higher than average power levels, with King Kai being stronger than King Yema with a power level of 3500, already acting as a mountain for Goku to climb. But King Kai also reveals that Goku needs to surpass Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga, who is a lot stronger than he is, and is one of the strongest creatures in the macrocosm at that point of the time, with a whopping power level of 18,000. The other Kaios were never revealed in the manga except South Kai in the manga. The others were only shown in the filler arc after the Cell Games and Goku's death. There's no definitive way to tell which one is stronger, as we never saw their abilities or how they fare against each other in a fight, but I'd like to believe they're similar in strength. However, we do know that King Kai is the one who taught Goku the Kaioken and the Genki Dama, also known as Spirit Bomb. These two moves became a staple to Goku's movesets. Now, I know this video is supposed to be a ranking of strength and not background. However, I'd like to include a bit of trivia regarding what Toriyama expressed regarding how these gods came to be. In fact, most if not all gods in this list are born from the fruit of the Kaiju, the World Tree, an unspecified location that serves as the birthplace of the gods. They are chosen by the Shinjins, who train these gods and assign them to their appropriate roles. It is said that if one of these gods ceased to exist, then the tree would replace the gods after a period of time. However, each god must earn that right by proving themselves, much like how Kami had to prove himself in order to qualify as Guardian of Earth.
Hey! Hail Grand Kai!
This is the Grand...
Overseeing the four Kais of the galaxy is the Grand Kai, and although the Grand Kai doesn't appear in the original manga, he is still mentioned there. However, he showed up in the anime at the suggestion of the creator of the franchise himself, Akira Toriyama, debuting in the Otherworld tournament arc after the events of the Cell Games. By the very nature of his position, we can assume that the Grand Kai is stronger and more powerful than his underlings. This is given by the fact that he is highly respected and regarded as one of the greatest fighters in existence. Not only is the Grand Kai the teacher of the greatest warriors in the universe, he is also one of the strongest warriors himself. However, not much is known about his fighting ability, and due to neglecting his training, it is implied that his power has regressed and slipped a bit in recent times. This was shown when Grand Kai was worried about giving Goku private lessons and says Goku's not ready, in which he appeared to be nervous about. Still, his position as a Grand Kai definitely earns him a higher ranking, no doubt making him stronger than the Quadrant Kais. However, how much stronger he is compared to, let's say, someone like Frieza from the Namek arc, that's up to debate, and I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys think is stronger, Grand Kai or Frieza from the Namek Saga. My bet is that he is probably around that level, if not slightly stronger. If the King Kais are around the thousands in terms of power level, then it's safe to assume the Grand Kai himself is around the millions.
Well, are you the Grand Kai?
Sorry. No, I'm not.
I'll tell you who he is. The Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai?
When it comes to the original Dragon Ball Z anime show, there wasn't any higher or more prestigious position in the universe than the Kaioshin. There are beings who live through millions of years and are considered the gods of creation of their respective universe. They are the gods of gods. They are so sacred that their existence is considered myth to some of the lower gods in the mortal realm. They possess godly powers and live outside the main universe macrocosm on the sacred world of the Kais. Contrary to what most most people believe. In the English dub, the sacred land of the Kais was simply referred to as a planet. However, the Japanese original dub calls it an entire realm that is transcendental to the mortal universe. As such, the Supreme Kai far outclasses the regular Kais. As while the lower Kais watch over the living world, the Kaioshins transcend the mortal universe and don't concern themselves with normal threats unless said threats could result in the destruction of the entire universe, such as Majin Buu. Having said that, these Kaioshins are levels stronger than the previous gods mentioned. Well, not all of them, but take the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 for instance. He is levels above that of Frieza from the Namek Saga, and was one of the strongest creatures in the universe for a short while, making him more powerful than the original Super Saiyan strength Goku first acquired. However, due to the fact that the Supreme Kai has never managed to complete his training with the other Kaioshins, meeting their fate against Majin Buu, his power level caps below the second level of Super Saiyan. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, even before turning into Super Saiyan, made the god of creation, the most respected figure in the universe, shit his pants. Even when he met Goku for the first time, he was aware of Goku's reputation as the greatest fighter in the universe and admits that he himself doesn't think he can take him on. Upon witnessing the unparalleled strength of Super Saiyan 2, the Supreme Kai realizes that perhaps this power might be enough to unleash a legendary sword that no god before could have managed to wield. This sword was the object that the Elder Kai was sealed by Lord Beerus himself. Speaking of which, while the Elder Kai is by far one of the weakest gods on this list, he makes it up with his immense knowledge and mystic powers of unleashing your true potential. So while he's far weaker than his younger counterpart, he is in fact very useful. He's also probably weaker than Kibito Kai, the attendant of the Kaioshin. We have never seen him fight, but we have seen that he was one-shotted and killed by Dabura before being wished back. The older Supreme Kais that fought Kid Buu in the past are actually very strong. While the North, East, and West are similar in power in some ways, Kid Buu has only deemed the South Kai strong enough to be absorbed. He later on absorbs the Great Lord of Lords, the head of the Supreme Kais, who's actually very powerful and forced Majin Buu to absorb him during their battle. The Great Lord, or Dai Kaio, holds the highest prestige among the Supreme Kais and is also their mentor and most powerful member. However, he isn't the strongest Supreme Kai in the franchise. That title goes to the King Kai prodigy, who was promoted to becoming the Supreme Kai. That is Zamasu, who's described to be very powerful. He in fact held his own against a Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Though he was forced to his knees quite easily, Goku praises the god after overpowering him and tells him that he is stronger than the Kaioshin from Universe 7. There are also other Supreme Kais like Gowasu and the other Kais from the other universes, but due to the fact that we have little data and information on how powerful they are, we're just gonna assume they're all under Super Saiyan 2 level as well. But if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments down below.
Sorry, Kai, but your luck has run out. Hakai.
After 17 years from when Dragon Ball Z has ended during the Kid Buu saga in 1996, Akira Toriyama came back to the game and has rebranded his show with New Gods in 2013. These gods themselves are quite different from the previous. While the legendary Super Saiyan form was canonically mentioned to be the most powerful warrior in history, these gods are way more powerful. Goku soon learns that when his first encounter with these breed of gods came in the Battle of Gods arc, where Goku's legendary Super Saiyan 3 form gets utterly defeated and one-shotted by a single blow. The gods of destruction are beings who are capable of annihilating the entire universe with their sheer strength alone, having the destructive capacity to deconstruct and erase a character to the molecular level, that they cease to exist entirely and cannot even be wished back. Their status in the universe is number one. However, in spite of the Kaioshins being the strongest beings, that doesn't mean their power cannot be eclipsed. Different gods of destructions are stronger than others. Take Champa for instance, who's marginally weaker than his brother due to the fact that his stamina suffers from being bent out of shape, giving Beerus a slight edge against him. There is also the angels that are assigned for each respective universe, whom are a lot more powerful than the gods of destruction. While not necessarily canon to Dragon Ball Super, during the Battle of Gods, the creator of the franchise, Akira Toriyama, has stated that if Beerus was a 10 out of 10 in terms of power in that movie, then Whis would be a 15, making Whis 50% stronger than Beerus. However, it must be noted these quotes are strictly towards the movie and not the anime, nor is it towards the manga, which is written by Toyotaro, as even the manga scales Beerus differently than the anime. In the anime, one can make the argument that characters like Broly, Goku's Ultra Instinct, and Gogeta Blue can rival Beerus if not exceed his power. This is based on the fact that Jiren himself in the anime and the manga is stated to be stronger than his own god of destruction. Therefore, it is possible for a mortal to be stronger than a god of destruction. Now, I'm not saying Jiren or Broly are stronger than Beerus. In fact, it is very difficult to scale Beerus in Dragon Ball Super due to his power fluctuating throughout and also scales differently in each continuity. Take Battle of Gods for example. It was stated that Beerus used 70% of his power against an inexperienced Goku who just acquired Super Saiyan God. He later on in Resurrection F acquires Super Saiyan Blue and still isn't stronger than Beerus. In the manga, Beerus absolutely demolishes a perfected Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He is also implied many times throughout that he is both stronger than Goku's Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's Ultra Ego. However, that is yet to be seen in the anime, as it is more implied that Goku has surpassed the gods and became a low-tier angel, as Ultra Instinct was conceived as the form which even the gods of destruction struggles to enter. This was shown in the manga when Beerus briefly enters Ultra Instinct when fighting the other gods, but couldn't manage to hold on to it for very long. This isn't to downplay Beerus, not at all. In fact, the author of the manga Toyotaro loves Beerus so much and doesn't shy away from absolutely glazing for the overpowered cat god. So even when Beerus was mentioned to lose in an arm wrestling competition against one of the other gods, I would still place him as the strongest god of destruction for the mere fact that his power in the manga is acting like a moving pole depending on the plot. The stronger Goku gets, the more powerful Beerus becomes, it seems. Some people have their headcanons and theories, but the simple answer is that Goku isn't ready yet to surpass Beerus from a narrative perspective. It will happen for sure, but we are still waiting. But since I'm grouping characters in one tier, Vegeta and Goku in their Super Saiyan Blue forms would be below the gods of destruction level and way above the Supreme Kais. Their Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego form, respectively, would be God of Destruction tier level, as Jiren himself has proven that you can surpass the powers of the God of Destruction. This was proven in the anime and it is a fact. Even Whis confirms it. The God of Destruction of Universe 11 as well admits it. Therefore, Goku mastering Ultra Instinct during the Moro arc places him above most gods of destruction. He also gets more powerful in the Granola arc, so while Goku can be debated to be a low tier angel along Vegeta, especially when factoring in his performance in the Tournament of Power, which saw him climb to new heights that made all gods stand up in respect to his fighting abilities. However, I'd say we should keep Goku and Vegeta in the God of Destruction tier until we see Dragon Ball Super anime coming back. Let me know in the comments section down below, do you think Goku's above this level or not yet? And if he isn't, do you think he will ever ascend past it?
That's enough!
Angels are the attendants to the gods of destruction of each universe. Although angels live longer than Haikaishins and are possibly even immortal, they will cease to function should a Haikaishin die and as a consequence will remain inactive until a new one appears. While angels usually do not directly involve themselves in the affairs of the universe, they are not, however, above indirect methods such as training mortals, Queen Vegeta, because angels are unequivocally the strongest beings in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. franchise, aside from the number 1 on this list. This is mainly because these beings are always in a perpetual state of Ultra Instinct. Unlike mortals such as Goku can only use the technique by tying it to a transformation, it is the angels' natural state of being as their bodies are attuned to the techniques automatically, meaning they can always use it without thought even out of combat situation. This gives incredible advantage over any opponent they face. They're also very powerful, as evident with Whis, who one-shot Beerus when he was on a rampage destroying planets after eating the wasabi. In fact, Akira Toriyama has explicitly stated in an interview during the Battle of Gods movie that if Beerus is a 10 out of 10 in terms of power, then Whis would be a 15. This is also not even mentioning the plethora of abilities that an angel possesses, from their immense knowledge of everything in the universe to their abilities of manipulating time and space, reversing time, and being able to travel in speeds that are infinitely faster than light. Additionally, they could also bring people back to life should they choose. Like every tier in this list, there are many angels in the Dragon Ball franchise, some stronger than others. The weakest angel we have seen would be Mears. He seems to be one of the youngest angels, but despite that, he's very powerful and trained Goku to ascend to a more perfected state of Ultra Instinct. Before his death, after using his angel power in a battle against Moro, he states to Goku that should he perfect Ultra Instinct, he would not lose to Moro, or anyone in fact. Now certainly this may indicate that Goku's angel tier, and that may be true. However, I wouldn't use this as confirmation that he is stronger than Beerus as of yet. At least not in the manga, as Tuatara often retcons Beerus' power and uses him as a moving flag. Also, Tuatara just likes Beerus a lot. Apart from the Grand Priest, the other angels seems to be close in strength. There is no way for me to tell you who is stronger, as we never saw them perform against each other. While Varos has stated herself to be a little stronger than Whis 1,000 years ago, as she is older and trained him at one point. Whis seems to disagree and believe that was in the past and he's stronger right now, so it's up for debate on who's really stronger. But regardless on who you think is more powerful, I think the difference is minuscule, as is with the rest of the angels. However, the Grand Priest is a much different story. He is a character who canonically has the highest power level in existence. He is number 1, and is the father of all angels. He has been mentioned by Whis in the manga to have the highest battle power in existence. His mastery of Ultra Instinct also far exceeds Whis himself. In fact, he's so strong that he managed to block Beerus' punch with a single finger. The angels are very powerful creatures, and to be honest, I'm not sure if Goku and Vegeta will ever measure up to their level of power. Perhaps down the line when the story progresses, but as of now, the closest Saiyan from the main timeline to reach an angel level would be the fusions of Goku and Vegeta. It's been stated many times in the movies that should Goku and Vegeta work together, they can overtake Lord Beerus. Jiren is also a character who surpasses his own God of Destruction's universe, and Broly was also mentioned to have power comparable to a God of Destruction. Also, Gogeta wiped the floor with him without using Ultra Instinct. So it's safe to say that the theoretical Vegeta and Gogeta Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego would be around angel level. Perhaps not as strong as the Grand Priest, but I think enough to make someone like Whis get a little more serious in battle.
Something this nasty should be cleaned up, right?
Yes, it should. I'll destroy it.
Guys, what are you waiting for? Launch it now!
All of existence, go away!
The Omni King, otherwise referred to Zeno, is without a doubt the most powerful and highest ranking being in the universe. Though he simply looks like a cuddly plushie and acts somewhat childish, Zeno is in fact very terrifying. He stands as the king of, well, everything, preceding over the entire multiverse. Even Beerus and Champa cower in fear when he arrives during their tournament. Whis also knows not to disappoint Zeno. Though he is not a warrior, Zeno has the powers of an all-powerful god. Beerus has stated that the Omni King does not fight, which perhaps explains why he loves watching fights. However, his power does not lie in martial arts, but instead in a power beyond comprehension. He could effortlessly wipe out universes with little to no effort. If you consider Beerus to be a ceiling that Goku must break through, then Whis would be the sky and the Omni King is the infinite space. However, to be fair, Like we said, the Omni King is not a character for Goku to surpass in terms of story purposes or fighting experience. But before I shout out the final godly character in this video, I would like to mention the attendants of the Omni King. While they aren't confirmed to be gods themselves, they are however a pair of bodyguards that rarely speak, and also act in unison with each other and stand in a very disciplined posture, motionlessly hovering above ground for most of the time. Since they are the bodyguards, one could logically infer that they must be very powerful. We have only seen very few feats performed by the guards. For example, the attendants seem to travel with the Omni King, being able to travel from Zeno's place to the Nameless Planet in such a short time. Compare that to Whis, who is the fastest being in Universe 7, it took him 2 days to complete the trip. In Dragon Ball, usually speed and power are directly correlated to each other unless specified otherwise, such as the use of a technique. Moreover, the attendants serve the Omni King directly, meaning their hierarchy could technically mean they are more powerful than your regular angel. They are definitely strong, but how strong, we aren't really sure. Perhaps on the level of an angel that is close to the Grand Priest. Again, not much, if at all, is discussed on how strong they are. But since we have seen Mr. Popo being stronger than literally the god of Earth, and also Whis, an angel stronger than a god of destruction, then I wouldn't be too surprised if the guards are somewhat one of the strongest beings in existence. But you tell me, how strong do you think the attendants are? So I want to address this. I started making this video before the unfortunate passing away of...
Are you looking for a one-stop grocery shopping experience with bargains you won't believe? Then stop by your neighborhood grocery outlet. You'll find amazing deals on the name brands you love, with savings up to 40 to 70% versus traditional grocery stores. And don't forget, we also have all the essentials like dairy, meat, and produce. So shop us first, shop us often. Great deals add up to monthly savings, only at your local grocery outlet.
Grocery outlet, bargain market.
The great Akira Toriyama, who is, as you know, the writer and father of Dragon Ball. I already finished the script of this video before the news came out, so I'd like to honor the man who gave us all these memories and created a huge impact on our lives. As I would like to shout out Toribot as the undisputed strongest and highest ranking of any Dragon Ball god. While we never saw Toribot in the actual show, there were a few nice references in the TV series as well as the manga of his existence. Toribot is, by all sense and purposes, is the author himself. He has, or rather unfortunately, used to have the power to erase, rewrite, and retcon story elements. He has also possessed boundless strength and infinite to relevant speed. His only weakness was his prone nature to forget things, as well as his editors rejecting some of his earlier ideas. However, he used to make it up with abundance of comedy and joy that he has created for fans all over the world. Thank you, Akira Toriyama. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video like I have, and I also realized that the new Dragon Ball series will be airing very soon, which will naturally introduce and contain new gods. As you know, Dragon Ball never fails to raise the ceiling. As a result, my list may be prone to some changes depending on what stage in the future you're watching this video. So please make sure to look at the date of when I make these ranking videos, as I could be missing some information that never came out. However, that doesn't mean my rankings are inherently perfect. I'm prone to making mistakes like anyone else, but I'm willing to listen to any feedback. Having said that, make sure to comment down below and also watch my other ranking videos. Also, please, for the people who never watched my latest video on how strong is Zeno Goku, please make sure to watch that video and give it a like. It's a criminally underrated video in my opinion. But anyways guys, like I always say, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
And Del Monterey in 2017.
See, you know what? I have the greatest career of any NFL player ever, because I played in the States, I played in Canada, and I played in Mexico. Who else could say that? Yeah. What are we talking about? Different.
He was a member of the Bengals 40th anniversary and 50th anniversary teams.
That's me. That's me. Hey, I was good. Because you know how good you gotta be to play in the States. You can play in the NFL, play in Canada. And Canada, listen, I told you about my experience in Canada. Ain't no way in hell some of them fellas should be down there in Canada. I think people look at the pay or the difference and think, oh, Canada's sweet. Shh. Man.
What was that? Cam Lake. Didn't they have Miami had a guy that came out of Canada? Cameron Wake. Okay.
Man.
Yep.
See, that's just one. There are a few examples of people.
Warren Moon, Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie. But there's so many more. The numbers, the politics, the opportunity. There are so many players in Canada. Like it almost irks my soul that they didn't get the opportunity, because there's no reason you should be here. Every week we play somebody different. I've seen maybe 4 or 5 guys. Why are you here? What are you doing? But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Darius Slay says A.J. Brown is the best receiver in the NFL. He went on Richard Sherman's podcast to explain why. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, Ocho.
Everybody on that list is, from top 4, is mostly schemed open for me. Just as a DB, I done seen Chase line up in the backfield. I see Justin line up in the backfield. I seen Tyreek be getting the 3-point stands by the damn tackle, guard, and be motioned across there. All I see is AJ doing is line up at X. Come see about me. If you want to see about me, I'm over here. You know where I'm at. I'm not finna go in this backfield. Right. I'm not motioning out of there and get isolated on no linebacker, none of that. I'm coming to see your best dude to make your best dude look like that's your worst dude. He don't run from no smoke. So people having him at 5, and then people want to talk about the quarterback play. All these guys got like real deal, like professional, like pro type of quarterbacks. They always say Hurts this and Hurts that. Out of all of them, would it come down to his passing? But like I say, Hurts throw the best deep ball, and guess what? AJ Brown most likely the best at catching that deep ball.
I like that. I like what he said. I like what he said. We don't have.
But I disagree with him.
In which part? Talk to me. Let me let you go first.
Chase ain't no scheme guy.
No.
Justin Jefferson ain't no scheme guy. Tyreek ain't no scheme guy.
Absolutely not.
Because their OCs are creative.
Bingo. I'm glad you said it. I'm glad.
It ain't my fault that AJ doesn't have a creative OC.
But he doesn't have to. He doesn't
you don't get to win the Triple Crown and be a scheme. You don't have 1,800 receiving yards in scheme. You that guy.
Yeah.
You that guy.
Yeah.
And when you that guy, you're that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I disagree.
And I'm not saying that AJ isn't a good, great receiver, however you want to categorize him. But I disagree with Slay on that part. That Chase and Jetta and Reek are they're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
I disagree as well. What Darius has to understand is when you have those players that are in your top 5 at the receiver position, AJ Brown is in a position where they have so many other weapons where you don't even have to be creative over there, because you have a skilled player in AJ Brown that is no different than having a Marvin Harrison. Chat, listen to me closely. I'm not saying AJ Brown is Marvin Harrison. When Marvin Harrison lined up, what side he was going to be on?
He's on the right.
He's on the right. He ain't going nowhere. AJ Brown just happened to have that same skill set, that same dog in him, and that DNA in him, where he knows he can line up and he can get out. I call it getting out the mud. Yeah. You call a play, the offensive coordinator don't got to worry about you. I just know Jalen Hurts could be blindfolded, call a play, slant, route, curl, out, whatever it may be, and he knows exactly where AJ Brown will be at, and he can get it out the mud. When it comes to Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and some of these other receivers, sometimes you have to get creative in order to get them the ball. Why? Because they're going to roll coverage to him every time if you keep them in every time.
Yes.
They really can't do that over there in Philly, because you got that gangster in the backfield where you got to drop that fucking safety down in the box.
Right.
But Justin Jefferson, you can line him up on the left side or the right side and say, we need you to get open the rest of the game. You can do like that too.
Yeah, my job as the OC Ocho is to not let your job be easy.
Yeah.
Because if I just line him up there, I'm making your job easy.
Easy, yeah. Roll the coverage.
Find out where he is.
And just roll to him. That's it. Period.
I'm going to make you find my guy. But there are guys you can scheme and you still can't get them open.
No.
Chase him. Jetta him. That's why on most everybody's list, when you see receivers come out, they're 1-2.
It's the same ones.
It's 1-2.
Yeah.
And even though Tariq had a bad year, and look, and I'm not saying because I like AJ. AJ is a big physical receiver. He's going to catch the ball in traffic. He's tremendous run after the catch.
Yes.
He can catch the deep ball. And sometimes he gets frustrated because he's not involved as soon as he thinks he should be.
Right.
Or as much as he should be. Right. And he have lapses sometimes. But he's phenomenal. But that's why I disagree with Slay. I get what he's saying.
I do.
He's
too.
like, look, the guy just lines up on one side and he said, okay, come see me.
But see,
Ocho.
Yeah, go ahead.
With that being said, even if Chase is not lined up on the same side, he's still saying you still got to come see me. Whether I'm in the slot, whether I'm on the right, whether I'm on the left, you still got to deal with me.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are a few players like that too, huh? There are a few players, if we were just playing basic football and saying, okay, we're breaking the huddle, I formation, and you just line up on the same side every single time, and the defense knows exactly where you're going to be. There are a few players, maybe 8 or 7 of them, that can say, you know what, I'm leaving you on that island, and you're just going to have to get open.
Right.
That can actually do it. And it makes the offensive coordinating job easy when you have those type of players. It ain't that many of them at receiver. Everyone else, you have to condense splits, you have to put them in motion, you have to do all these things to get them open. Everybody can't get out there and just get it out the muscle. It ain't
right.
It's very, very difficult.
It is. But y'all doing him a disservice because if everybody knows where he is, look here, they ran stunts with LT. They ran stunts with Reggie and Bruce. That don't mean they couldn't do it, but I'm not trying to just, hey, let's try to make their job easier. Yeah. So, like I said, I get what Slay is trying to say. Yeah. He's like, look, just imagine if they moved him around, just imagine, instead of just lining up as the X, he lined up, they put him in the slot and they did different things with him. They stacked him, so forth and so on. Okay, fine. But Ja'Marr Chase is not a scheme receiver. No, neither is Jetta. Neither is Tyreek. Now, I don't know the other guys that were in the top. I think they had AJ, so I don't know if it was Puka CD. Or if it was Nico Cobb. CeeDee Lamb. Well, CD is mainly plays in the slot. He can go outside, but he's mainly in the slot.
The funny thing about those top 5 you just named is you could switch the team. You could put AJ in Cincinnati. You could put Chase in Philly. I can't hear you. You hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, there you go. You back. I'm blurry. You can see me?
No, I'm looking at me. Did my light? Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you good. Yeah. I say all those players we talk about, like they interchangeable. You can put them on any team, and they're gonna
elevate your game this season at Dick's. Score the latest gear from the best brands for football, soccer, volleyball, and more. Plus, choose from thousands of cleats from Nike, Adidas, Jordan, and other top brands. Shop in-store or Dicks.com to make it your best season yet.
Now, once you get out that top 7 or 8 or 10, now we need to look. We need
not to interchange. Not look. I think the thing is that Chase was 1, Jetta was 2, Reek was 3, CD was 4, AJ was 5.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malik Neighbors.
Oof. Boys, but them boys nasty, boy.
Yeah, I think Nico Collins cracked the top 10.
Nasty.
Mike Evans. Oh no, Garrett. Yeah, Nico was 8. Mike Evans and Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, another one. Get you out the muscle. Can line up and get. It's so funny. It's only a few of them. As many receivers as there are in the NFL, it's only a few. I'm leaving you out here. I call it receivers that the offensive coordinator don't have to worry about. You make my job easy because I can do everything. I can do more with my offense because I know you can take care of your business.
Right.
I ain't got to worry about you.
Yeah, I think the thing is that when you leave a receiver in one position, now you let them set their defense, and they can okay, we're gonna roll the coverage here. No, find me. Catch me if you can. Find me. I'm playing hide and seek.
Yeah.
I'm in the slot. I might motion out of the backfield. I might line up at Z. I might line up at X. Ain't no telling. Hey, the slot, the wing, whatever.
You know what? A good point too. What Darius Slay just said. Now you get a better understanding of why AJ was frustrated last year because
I knew why.
There was no creativity.
No,
there was no creativity. You leave me on one side and allowing the defense to dictate what we want to do. Why? Because they allowed Jalen Hurts to play into the confines of that offense and not do anything extra outside of that. Where if they're gonna let you catch the ball, it got to be one-on-one.
Yeah. I knew why. Everybody knew why, and they tried to dress it up.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts was throwing for 120 yards.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win a championship with that. And and he got better and better. And you see, go look at his playoff numbers. They got better and better. And in the Super Bowl, he was sensational. Every time he got one-on-one, he made him play for every time they gave him one-on-one. He made him pay because Spags he was not going to let Saquon beat him.
Yeah.
He neutralized Saquon. But in the process of that, he left his corners on an island.
Yeah. Yeah. And you saw what happened. And matter of fact, I'm gonna just throw this out there too. My honorable mentions as well. They've given you a small sample size on what they can do when Tank Dell comes back and he's healthy.
Yeah, he ain't come back this year. I don't think he come back this year. He get 26.
My young bull over there in Baltimore, Zay Flowers. That's another one.
Brian Thomas Jr. should have been on the honorable mention list.
Brian Thomas Jr. Another one. We said Malik Neighbors, right?
Yeah, well, he on the list.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's number 7.
Yeah. Now, I don't have all the NFL teams in front of me. I'm just going off the top of my head based on skill set.
I mean, you still got DK. You got George Pickens. You got Higgins.
Oh, T. Yeah.
You got Judy.
Oh, Judy belong in that conversation.
So, yeah. Let's see.
Calvin
Lad McConkey.
I
mean, if you think about Amon-Ra and CD were really the only slots.
Right. See, that's what I don't like. The number of people that belong in the conversation. Some people get left out that are just as consistent as Amon-Ra St. Brown or CD Lamb. Lad McConkey, stay open.
I think he'll have a big year.
Zay Flowers, he stay open in that slot. I mean, but that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you have a top 10, obviously you got to leave somebody out because you only got 10 slots.
Yeah.
They're like, give me 10 best rappers. Well, somebody going to get left out because there are 1,000 rappers, past and present. You go, okay, give me your 10 best R&B singers. Well, you're going to leave somebody out. If you okay, give me your 50 best, women R&B singers. Somebody's going to get left out.
Yeah.
You only got 10 slots. So, and you have to be okay because, bro, it is what it is. And people got to understand that. That doesn't mean, and you might make somebody else's list and not someone else's. Right. But, Ocho, during Cowboys training camp, fans have been shouting at Jerry and Stephen Jones, pay Micah, pay Micah. Stephen spoke to reporters about it, said it doesn't change anything. We want to pay Micah too. He's got to want to be paid.
Don't do that.
Jerry also keeps calling Micah Michael Parsons. What you mean? He want to get paid, but he don't want to pay. He don't want y'all to pay him what y'all want to pay him because see, y'all think y'all want to pay him at a discount, and he already told you that ain't gonna happen. The discount was 2 years ago. It ain't now.
Yeah.
Because that was before you let Max Crosby reset the market. That was before you let Danielle Hunter reset the market. That was before you let Myles Garrett reset the market. And that you let TJ Watt reset it again.
Yeah.
That was before all of that. Now, I don't know what y'all talking. We're at 42 and a half.
Hey,
that's where I'm at. I don't know what you're talking. I want to get paid.
Right. And matter of fact, since you keep talking trash in the media, in the news, and you're not calling me by my right name, make it 43 for good measure.
Yeah. You know what? My mama named me Micah. Call me Micah. You call me Michael too many times. 44. Right. And as a matter of fact, since Stephen came out and said, "Oh, Micah gotta want to be paid," 45. Lying on me. He lied on me. That man want to be paid, but he ain't gonna let y'all pay him what y'all want to pay him. Y'all always wait till the last minute. Ocho, look. Here's the thing. I promise you, it is cheaper to get your car serviced than it is to get it repaired. Listen what I'm saying.
Come on, guy.
All right, go ahead, Ocho. They ain't listening
hold
to me,
on.
Ocho.
Come on,
they ain't listening to me.
It's Sunday. Come on now. Come on, Pastor.
It's either to get your car serviced than it is to get it repaired. Now, the choice is yours.
That's a good one.
Micah, you could have serviced Micah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to repair him, which means you got to make him whole.
Well, if I had a collection plate, I'd pass it around. That was a good one.
And that's the Ocho. That's how it works. The longer you let something go,
yes, sir,
the more it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
The price is not coming down on Micah. Did you think the prices was coming down on Micah Parsons? The guy's he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's a 3-time first team All-Pro. Now he didn't make. I don't think he made All-Pro last year, first team. But he's a pro. He's been to the Pro Bowl every single year. The price is only going up.
Hold on. Because listen, I got to get that pen and pad because that was a bar. You gave me a bar. Bring that. I got to use that in my next argument. Hey, give me that line one more time.
It's easier to get your car serviced than it is repaired.
Yeah, I don't know the context and when I'm gonna be able to use it, but I'm gonna use that.
Oh, you'll be able to use it. And that's the thing. The man's been asking for a contract. But what does Jerry like to do? Wait until the umpteenth hour. He waits until the umpteenth hour and then wonder why Dak cracked him over his head both times. Dak hit him over his head both times. Dak went 40, then he went to 60. Dak said, since y'all making me wait, guess what's gonna cost you next time? 70.
Dang.
Because clearly, y'all, they've been telling people for the longest, we like Cooper Rush. We like Cooper Rush. Really? Y'all like Cooper Rush, huh? Y'all should have put him in.
Yeah, play games if you want to.
Y'all should. If y'all like Cooper, if you like Cooper Rush as much as you say you did, you would have never gave Dak $60 million.
They just talking on. You understand who's the type of caliber quarterback that can carry your team, or at least give you a chance to win.
And Dak knew from the moment that Cooper Rush was a free agent, and not one person bid. Dak said, "Y'all stuck like Chuck."
But you know the eye in the sky don't lie.
No.
All 31 other teams, they get to see film too. They get to see film too.
They do. They do.
You listen, as owners and as GM and managers, you can say what you want to verbally, but when you turn the film on, if it don't match and it don't align with what you say about a player, they not going for that.
Yeah. And every once in a while, Ocho, you can go into the draft and you'll get a Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. You'll get a Dak Prescott in the 4th round. You're never going to get another Tom Brady in the 6th round. So stop looking. Stop looking. That was the Hope Diamond. You found the Hope Diamond.
Unicorn.
Yeah, so stop looking. But sometimes you'll be able to find you a really good quarterback that's not a 1st round draft pick or not a high draft pick. But without that guy in today's game and the way the game is set up today, the way they've handicapped the defense and way they've propped up the offense, without that guy, you ain't winning.
No.
You're not. You're just not. You can't play defense good enough
not today
to overcome inadequate quarterback play. Correct. In today's
era. Absolutely not. Listen,
no.
it could work. It could work during our era.
Yeah.
You can work through that era. You play defense and have a decent quarterback.
Decent quarterback, nice running game.
No disrespect. The Bears, when they played the Colts in the Super Bowl, the identity for that Bears team was what? Their defense.
Yes.
No disrespect to Rex Grossman. No disrespect.
But he was Rex Grossman going against Peyton Manning.
Come on now. But that defense was unbelievable that year.
And the thing, what happened, it started raining. But if you go back and look, the Colts almost ran for 200 yards.
Joseph Addai, right? Joseph Addai?
Yeah, it was Joseph Addai and what was the other guy name?
Hi, I'm Mark LaRusso, executive chef of SW Steakhouse at the Wynn. One of our secrets at the Wynn is our chicken. I really like to use kosher salt, black pepper, a little bit of lemon inside, rosemary, touch of olive oil, rub the chicken. But the key is you let it sit for 2 days in the refrigerator uncovered. So this is a raw chicken that's been sitting on its second day, and you can tell it's pulled out some of the liquid. So when we cook it in a hot pan, skin side down, breast side down, we'll put it in the pan for like 10 seconds and then right into a 450 degrees oven for like 15 minutes. Flip it. Every oven's a little bit different. Flip it for another 10, another 10 on the backside. You'll end up with a very, very crispy chicken. You don't have all that water when you put in the chicken where it starts to sizzle right away. Right off the bat, you're caramelizing it. And that's one of our secrets at the Wynn.
Tags.
Damn.
So yeah.
Now you see, there you go. Prime example of why I should be appointed the director of the NFLPA. Because that's one of the things I'm getting out. Franchise tag. Okay, they got to go. Guaranteed contracts. Let's implement guaranteed contracts. Let's talk about that.
I want no franchise tag.
I want health.
I want lifetime health benefits.
Yeah, come on now. Come on now. You think man, listen. I might joke and laugh, but when it comes to business and I put a suit and tie on, it's a whole different ball game.
Well, they definitely need somebody that's shrewd, understands the aspect of it, knowing that what's headed down the track in the next couple of years. And then, you're reading all this stuff about there might be some criminality involved with this. It's just not, it's not a good look for the NFLPA. No. Now you kind of understand kind of what it's been lacking proper representation for lack of a better word, Ocho. It's just hopefully I hope, because look, you and I don't benefit from it anymore.
No,
but I just want the players that's now and the ones that's going to be coming in. I want them to get the maximum bang for the buck.
And there's only one person that can do that for him. You hear me? There's only one person that would not only represent the players, but will represent the NFLPA. That's me. I'm gonna put my name in the hat. Don't worry about that.
You gonna put your name in the hat?
Oh, I'm gonna put my name in the hat. Most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, who better? Who better? Come on now.
I don't know, Ocho. You ain't been keeping up on things like you supposed to.
I'm keeping up. I do my homework now. Don't let a few laughs and little jokes, throw you off your game. I'm hip. My eyes can see. My ears can hear.
Mm-hmm.
My nose, I can smell. Yeah.
I want Michael to get paid now.
He gonna get paid. I don't like the fact that they're allowing all these days to go by and he's not practicing. And when he does get paid, he's going from 0 to 100. I don't like that.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have any, knock on wood, he doesn't have any, because you know what normally happens, soft tissue.
Yes. Because the body has to get used to the pushing, the pulling, the tugging, the ripping, makes no sense.
It doesn't. Because if I'm Mike, I'm thinking like, bro, what do I have to do?
Man, I've done everything right.
All pro. I've been to the Pro Bowl every year. I've had double-digit sacks every year. I've done everything that you've asked me to be. I've been a model citizen. As far as we know, he hadn't run a foul, hadn't been any trouble off the field. I've done everything that you've asked. I've been a model citizen. I've been a great representation for this ball club. And now it's my turn.
Yeah.
It is my turn. You know, Dak had his turn. CD had his turn. Trayvon Diggs had his turn. Steele had his turn. Now it's my turn. At some point in time, Jerry, you got to be ahead of the curve. You always fall behind the curve, and that's why you got to pay so much. You're falling behind the curve.
Yeah.
You either, Ocho, you either ahead of the curve or you're in the curve. Because if you fall behind it, you're behind. Now you got to pay extra to catch up.
But this is the problem. When someone doesn't see anything wrong with the way they do things, there's no reason to change. There's no reason to change. If I did it to everybody else, what makes Micah any different? I did it to Dak. I did it to CeeDee Lamb. I did it to others in the past, long before these players were even born. I've been doing it my way for a very long time. I'm not now for what? Because winning is not my ultimate goal. It's making a profit and continuing to remain the most profitable franchise.
Yeah, look, you let one of your greatest defensive players go for nothing, DeMarcus Ware, because you thought it was done. All he did was go to Denver, help him win a Super Bowl,
win a chip,
and play at an all-pro level until he was done. So clearly,
you're doing something right, huh?
Yeah. I just, like I said, it's tough. But you miss calling the guy's name. He's just been there 5 years. That's all.
You doing that on purpose, huh?
I don't think he's doing it on purpose. Man, Jerry,
he ain't that old not to know his star player's name on defense.
Man, you know how the old people be called. Man, my grandma ain't never called me by my real name. My granddaddy gave my brother the name Spanky because he couldn't say Sterling.
Right.
So he gave him a name he could remember. Hey, Spanky. No, like I said, maybe it's, Michael. It's never been Michael. It's been Micah. Everybody knows the man's name.
I got a question. Yeah. What if Micah is short for Michael and we didn't even know that?
I think his name is Micah.
Okay. I'm just.
And no. Nah, normally Mike is short for Michael.
Right.
Not Micah.
You're right.
But hey, maybe it is. You know what, Ocho? We got Google maybe.
Yeah, you might.
He ain't mentioned. I ain't never heard him.
Yeah, we might want to fact check that because nobody knew Chad was short for Chadwick.
Micah Aaron Parsons.
Hey, his middle name Aaron?
Because what I just said, yes.
Okay. Listen, his mama named him Aaron. I'm calling him Aaron from now on.
And he just turned 26 years of age in May.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know what that's about. Ocho. The Buccaneers will not allow undrafted free agent D lineman Desmond Watson to practice until he gets in better shape and reaches an undisclosed weight goal. Watson weighed 464 pounds at his pro day earlier this offseason and has lost nearly 30 pounds since joining the team, but he needs to lose more.
That's a good thing, especially in that Florida heat. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Like, you ain't finna keel over on us.
Yeah, but also, remember, he played right in Gainesville, right down the street. He ain't played that far away, so I'm sure he's used to the heat. But I think
he ain't used to running like this.
Oh, yeah, it's different. It's different. I think he or they understand that he will be able to perform better at his position at a smaller weight. And now to get out there and practice until they see fit, him being ready. I have a question.
Yeah.
If he's 400 pounds right now, how much do you think Vita Vea weighed?
No, he ain't 400 pounds. He's 434 right now.
Oh, shit.
He was when he started that, he was almost 500 when he got to Florida. He weighed 464 at his pro day. I think he's 434 currently.
Right.
I can see them wanting him somewhere between 4 and 415.
What you think Gilbert Brown weighed when he played?
Probably 380. But this Watson is tall. Watson like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", maybe 6'6".
He that tall?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. Hey, he quick too, boy. His short area quickness, he real quick with it. Hey, boy, when he get out on that field and they got him and Vita Vea together in them A guys.
Ocho, he's 6'6". Yes. Yes, I told you he tall. Yeah, he a big. Yes. And so hey, the tall, that's why Gilbert, Gilbert was probably 370, 380. Because Gilbert was probably 6'2". My man 6'6". Do you know how much weight? The higher you stack something, the heavier it can get.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know he was that tall. He looked short when he was at Florida.
He looked short because he's so big.
6'6"?
6'6".
Boy, ain't nobody gonna be able to run the ball. Boy, Vita Vea and him in that goddamn A gap.
Mm-hmm.
Man, damn.
Yeah, but I think just for general health purposes.
Right.
He got to get that under control.
Understandable.
Yeah.
He gonna be a force when he get out there, though. I know that.
I hope so, Ocho. I'm pulling for young fella. I'm pulling for it. To come in at almost 500 pounds, to get a scholarship, to get down to 464. Now he's probably down to 434. I mean, people don't understand, but that's still a big ass man. 400 pounds? Let that sink in. He 400 pounds and he athletic. He ain't just sitting around just eating.
Move now.
Yes.
Move.
And he's only gonna get so small.
Right.
He's 6'6". And he's always gonna have this problem, Ocho, because his body knows, hell, I carried 500, so I can do it again.
Right.
So he's always gonna have to fight that battle of his body going back to where it was comfortable. His body was comfortable there.
Right.
And that's what I tell people when people ask me, say, well, man, I want to lose it. I said, let me ask you a question. What is a weight you can get to and you don't have to kill yourself to stay at? Because if you got to kill yourself, the 1-2 days that you don't kill yourself, you're going right back.
Back to it, right.
So where can you get to a weight that's comfortable for you that you don't have to kill yourself to maintain it? And in the process of doing that, stop saying diet, because
losing money on ads without results? SEMrush's advertising toolkit delivers campaign ROI with AI ad creation, competitor ad research, and targeted keywords. Impressed? Explore all SEMrush toolkits and get what you need to grow.
6 months where you're not playing. You got to be able to stick to that plan, whatever that plan may be.
Yeah.
Hard too. That's hard, especially when
for sure.
When you
yes, he's been. It's hard for me to see a scenario where Desmond Watson was not always a large kid. Large child, large kid, large teen. He's only 22.
Yeah.
So he's probably been large. It's hard for me to see a scenario where he wasn't at least a 10-pound baby. Hell, I was 10 pounds.
Real? I was.
Yeah.
Okay, I was 12. That's crazy.
I was 10 pounds, so it's hard. And I'm not, I think I'm normal, but I'm not a normal guy. I mean, I'm 250. He outweighed me by almost 200 pounds, so it's hard for me to believe that he weighs 6-7 pounds as a baby, and now all of a sudden he this size.
Right.
I mean, look, it's not always, but a lot of times, big babies be big kids, be big adults. But I'm rooting for him. I sure hope he can. I hope he can pull this off. He can get this down. Ocho, Chargers reportedly signed Rashawn Slater, 4 years, $114 million, $92 million guaranteed, making him the richest offensive lineman in NFL history. He just passed Tristan Wirfs, who did a deal. His 28.5 is $380,000 more than Tristan Wirfs. Penei Sewell was at $28 million, Trent Williams at $27.55, and Christian Darrisaw is at $26 million.
Wait a minute. Where's Lane Johnson?
I think Lane about 25.
Oh, well, we know who finna reset that market then.
They just did. But see, the thing is, Lane was like, bro, y'all just get me done. Because they always stay ahead of the curve with Lane.
Right.
Remember, they just did Lane. They just did Mailata. They just did Dickerson. AJ, Devontae, Saquon.
Yeah.
Jalen.
Yeah.
Now you got that big dog coming down the pike.
Oh yeah. They got
Carter.
They got to save everything they can for that one. That's finna break that's finna break the bank.
Just like I don't know if you remember that. Welcome back, Carter.
Mm-hmm.
It was Carter, but welcome back, Carter.
Yeah.
Because hey, you got to welcome him back with open arms. Because in the next 5 years, he gonna be the dominant defensive. He could easily be the dominant defensive player in football. He has that kind of ability.
He going to year 3, right? This year 3?
Yes.
Well, he would get paid after this season with the way Howie and
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn, that's dope.
Lane didn't they just redo Lane last year, Ash? Yes, they just redid him last year, making 25.
Okay.
But he that boy, Lane. Hey, well, hey, I don't need to be the highest paid.
Yeah.
Just keep me up there. Just keep me up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Now we got money to go around. We can keep this team together.
Yes, sir.
And I can continue to win. Cause man, it's easy to go out there and stay healthy and fight when I know, hey, every week we got a chance to win this thing. But boy, these salaries are going crazy. I mean, an offensive lineman making $28 million, damn near 30.
That got to be the blind side. Please tell me he's a left tackle.
Yes, he left.
Oh, I was going to say. Well, that's the listen.
Well, Penei Sewell and Lane are right.
Right. Yeah.
And Slater, Worth, they moved Tristan to the left side because he started out as a right tackle.
Right.
Obviously, that silverback Trent Williams, he's been 10 Pro Bowls. He's been that boy for a minute. I love all these guys. I love them all. But healthy, he's the best in the business. Trent.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even at his age.
Absolutely. When everybody at the absolute best, Trent that boy.
Yeah.
He him. And I love Lane Johnson because Lane ain't nothing to play with. All these guys, I mean, that's why they make the money they make. Right. Tristan Wirfs, Penei Sewell, all these guys, Darren Shaw. I think Darren Shaw was injured last year. All these guys are good. But at his best, he ain't to be played with.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Harbaugh says Justin Herbert's biggest weakness is offensive teammates must get to his level. I see him at the level. That's the highest level as a quarterback. First 5 seasons, nobody's thrown for more yards in NFL history. This is the truth. Justin Herbert's biggest weakness is all of those that are counting on the offense, coaches, offensive line, playmakers, receivers, running backs, to get to his level. Ocho?
Yeah.
Do you like him saying that?
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Listen, the players need to hear that. When you got a quarterback playing at that kind of level, we need everybody else to show up. We need everybody else to show up. And he's really talking about the skill position. Honestly, that's what he's calling out. I want one person. There's one person to
No, he said he talking to coaches, offensive line, playmakers, receivers, running back. He talking to everybody on the offensive side.
Coaches ain't on the field, but the people, the schemes and the X's and O's, that's one thing. But the people that's on that field and that green grass between them lines, they got to execute everything.
Right.
There's one person that I highly believe, that I love to death, and I'm hoping this is his year, and I need him to show up and show out, and that's Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
I need you to show up and show out and be the receiver that I know you could be, so I can keep talking my shit.
He had a couple of drops. I think he's been plagued with drops.
Yeah. Yeah, but listen, every team has one. The Bengals have Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. You know, every team has one. That player that you can count on. I need Quentin Johnson to be that guy for Justin Herbert. Whatever he needs, I need him to be that guy.
I'm trying to think if I ever heard a coach say that. I've never heard a coach say that. Maybe not publicly. Maybe behind closed doors.
Yeah, closed doors. But it's a good thing. Harbaugh's not one of those that's going to shy away from what he wants to say and what he truly believes.
No, he's not.
No, I truly believe, I'm not saying it's in the meeting room. I'm saying it publicly so you all know I need you to show up to do your job. I need all of you to be held accountable because I'm looking at the numbers that my quarterback is putting up, but it's not.
But a lot of some of those numbers that he's putting up because he's throwing interceptions early and he's behind in the game.
And having to catch back up.
Yeah. All yards aren't created equal.
That's a good one.
Because sometimes we look at the stat sheet and say, oh, he played good. Well, you do realize the only reason he was, bro, you can't drown me and then bring me back to shore and talk about, man, hey, and I'm supposed to thank you for saving my life. Bro, it was you that capsized the boat.
Oh, right.
You put us in this spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think he gets, because of the physical traits, the abilities that he have.
Yes.
They see that big time arm, Ocho. They see he can make every throw on the field, and you fall in love with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy. I can see why they fall in love with it. But it's easy for you to fall in love with winning. Because I see a lot of guys have ability, can throw the ball 80 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make plays when you absolutely have to have them? Go back and look at the great ones. Look at Tom. What could Tom do? When he needed to make a play, when he needed to make a throw, Tom did it.
But hey, wait, you heard what you just said? You said Tom did it.
Yes.
When he needed to make that throw, when he needed to make those plays, the players caught him. When Herbert has to make those plays,
you got
Ladd McConkey has showed up.
Yeah.
I need 2 more than players on that offense to show up every time consistently.
Right.
My brother,
I think who did they play? Didn't they play Houston? They played Houston in the playoffs.
Yeah. Who's the number 2 over there? You know the number 2 receiver? Who's the number 2 receiver in the tight end?
Didn't Palmer? I think Palmer. He ended up going. Didn't he end up going to Buffalo?
Palmer was nice. Yeah, I think Palmer.
And then they had Johnson. Quentin Johnson been there.
I'm trying to think who the number 2 is now, though.
I guess it'll be Quentin Johnson.
He's not. No, Q is the number 1.
So what's Ladd McConkey?
He's the 2 because he's in the slot.
That don't make Amon-Ra St. Brown is in the slot. He number 1. CD in the slot. He number 1.
Okay, I see you. I see you going. Okay.
And the one thing, Ladd McConkey's been consistent, Ocho.
Hey, he nasty.
Set your clock by him.
He nasty with it, boy.
Set your clock by him.
He nasty with it.
Look, the thing about Harbaugh, he's old school. He got that coach. He played for Coach Jim Berkeley. He played for Mike Dicker. And like my granny used to say, boy, they tell you like a TISD is. It is. Hey, ain't no Coach Jim Berkeley wasn't sugarcoating it, and Mike Dicker damn sure wasn't sugarcoating it. So Harbaugh, that's where he played under. He got coach tutelage under. Okay, this is what you're gonna get. He says, hey, this guy's playing at this level. I need everybody that's playing here and here to get to here.
Matter of fact, you know what that offense need to look like? With goddamn Herbert, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen.
Yep. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Through 4 practices, Travis Hunter has been on the field in 11-on-11 and 7-on-7 for 83 snaps. He spent the first 2 practices exclusively on offense, 36 snaps, and played exclusively on defense the last 2, 47 snaps. Earlier today, he broke up 3 passes in 21 snaps on 11-on-11, including the final play of practice in the red zone. Have we ever seen a player like this?
No. We've never seen a player like this. Are there other players, if given the opportunity, could have done this? Maybe, maybe not. But if they could, they would have done it. If they could do it, they would have done it. I mean, we've seen Deion, we've seen Chan Bailey, we've seen Charles Woodson, but not to this magnitude.
You know who played at a high level on both sides of the ball and people don't forget about it?
Who?
Roy Green.
Who?
Roy Green. Google it.
That before my time?
Yeah. I remember Roy Green. He could play.
What position?
You're not a chalkboard. You're a man. Climbers Coke, the only addiction worth having.
Google if you'll hear of him. But damn, he was like that.
God damn.